Yow Tub.
Well,
Who remembers Red Tube?
We're up.
no, we're live, Mike. We're live.
Can we stream
It's like,
there?
oh no, whoops, oopsie.
I can hear.
Who's not got their headphones in?
Mike.
Who's got like so...
Mike!
Yeah, ready.
We can hear
We're
ourselves.
headphones.
Stop.
That's me.
Turn it off.
That's me. It's me.
Turn it off. Okay.
Oh,
Aha! You judged me too quickly, you fucking cockheads.
So again,
Because you refuse to get
we'll
headphones.
start today's session with reminding everyone that it has been a while, and I know how you get when it's been a while. So let's get our game faces on and focus.
Excited.
And of course, hopefully everyone's boiled up a pot, plonked their body down by the roaring hearth, and supped on a fine brewski with thine journeyman questers.
And that they've got their dinners in the chat.
indeed.
Well, we'll get on to that. So, welcome back, everyone, to another exciting installment of the Journeyman Questers. It's been a while. We've been a bit on and off at the moment because it is the summer holidays and a lot of us are kind of away or doing things at various times or have birthdays. There's like a lot of kind of things going on at the moment, but we're trying to be normal. Couple of quick announcements. Next week we cannot do Thursday, but we are hopefully going to do the Tuesday. So we'll be doing 2 sessions pretty close back to back, which is great. I really like that. In other news, if you haven't already, go back and watch the really, really exciting roundtable chat with the fantastic Mr. James Gifford himself, as well as Josh. You obviously were there. That was a really, really good one where we chatted about kind of homebrew and various delicious magical item creations and DM related stuff with James, my original DM. And I mean, I want to say more knowledgeable than me in Dungeons and Dragons. I think I can quite easily say that. As I am but Padawan to his Sith Lord.
I feel like this paints you.
In a nutshell,
James is
if you
definitely
ever
a Sith Lord. Yeah.
He's the
if
top,
you ever
you're the
have the
bottom.
privilege of playing a game with James Gifford, just be aware that your character will get a disease.
Yeah, he will get
a
a disease.
lifelong
Exactly,
disease.
yeah. Like, okay,
You guys, he's fucking brutal.
really
And the way
quick.
NPCs you like as well.
Really quick anecdote from the first campaign we ever played in. My first campaign, James is DMing, we're at uni, Josh is there too, and the first encounter outside this tower was just with dogs, right? We just fought some rabid dogs, and our friend Daryl's character, Alan the male, got bit by one of these dogs, failed his constitution saving throw, and got rabies, which in James's world is incurable, and he lived with it for the rest of the entire campaign. And it became part of his character. He like became sort of rabid. He was a barbarian too, so it kind of he frothed when he
fucking sick.
Nice.
You had to roll a rabies check every time to see if he lost control.
he would often just lose control and attack people, and it was a lot of fun. Anyway,
What race was he as well? I want to paint
a dwarf.
strong.
He was an old bald dwarf with a big old beard. I've drawn him somewhere. I'll find. Well, James
I can
actually.
imagine it like the beard, like wet with dribble and spit.
was-
as he
yeah.
shouts.
So,
Yeah.
because we were all playing and we were all illustrators, because we were all on the same course, Oliver, who's also a fantastic illustrator, he's Norwegian, and he did a load of comics that were the campaign, and they were actually published. So there's us,
That's
like
sick.
sitting around a table and then being our characters, and there's bits of Daryl's character frothing at the mouth and stuff, and then he's like sitting at the table frothing at the mouth eating sweets. It's really clever. And then James
I
did
think
a
you
whole
showed me
series
some,
of it.
actually.
Oh man, it's good times.
Yeah.
Let's quickly go around and do some quick dinners in the chat. Rupert, I saw you were just just polishing something off?
I was changing up a nice roasted vegetable pasta sauce, which was very good. A sort of a tray bake, very nice with a little bit of nutritional yeast mixed in to get some cheesiness, and a delicious vegan garlic bread to dunk into.
Oh,
I feel satisfied, quenched, and ready for dice.
and ready for dice. Cool. Mike, you having or had?
I had my cold, pasta dish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the olives and tomatoes and fresh basil, loads of black pepper, all that shit. And then on the side of that, I made some vegan doner meat.
Oh,
Ooh.
shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
Like homemade. What did you do? Like seitan?
No, so what I did is I used the grow stuff from Co-op. They do like a grow steak. And what I do is I get my knife, fucking sharpen the fuck out of it, and then cut like really thin slices so it's like your fucking doner meat. Then I coat it with a mix of like fresh chilies, dried chilies, little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and like fucking rub all that in. And if you've got onion and garlic powder as well, just like a tiny sprinkle, rub all that on it, and then put it in the oven at like 180. And
Ooh. You are a gourmand.
Sounds good. Theo,
Yeah.
what have you had?
Yeah, I just sort of like leftover sort of thing that I just quickly fried up. So I had some leftover sushi rice in the fridge.
nice.
Chucked that in the old skillet with some red onions, some cabbage, some corn pieces. I just slung a bit of sriracha and honey on that, and a bit of garlic powder, bit of salt.
Ooh.
Mixed it together. Quick and easy, very tasty though.
Sriracha is the ingredient.
Yum. And
Yeah.
and finally, Josh, are you about to have something?
I will be having some tomatoey and feta orzo concoction,
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
It's so decadent.
which we've never had before, so it's a new one.
Is
If you
it
had said roast dinner again, I would have fucking left the chat.
Is it the thing that that has Amelia sent that to Imi? Is it a
Yeah.
Oh, it's the Otterleng. It's got olive. It's got orange peel in it and fennel seeds. It's fucking good. It's fucking.
I might run
good.
round.
Nice, sounds good.
It is
I might run
decadent
round
as fuck.
and just steal
Oh,
some
and basil.
from
It's
your
got
flat.
like basil,
Yeah.
orange peel, and oh man, it's the combination. Otto, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, all of that junk.
Well,
you know.
I'm just having a simple ristorante pizza.
The classic.
A
Yeah.
classic.
A
If it ain't
nice
broke,
classic.
then
Shit.
don't fix it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have time
100%.
because I have shit to do. Speaking of not having much time, let's burrow our way deep into this story. I have a catch-up prepared by yours truly.
Yes.
Unlike a catch-up perhaps we've done before. So
Oh no.
take it
As long
away.
as you don't throw us in at the deep end.
Prepare
don't mind.
yourself.
Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna fuck with us.
Take it away,
Oh
me.
no.
So let's begin.
Prepare your harness.
The sound of a leathery folding wings and smouldering embers marks their chilling arrival. Clack, clack of the hoofed feet echoing uncomfortably through the frozen corridors and timeless halls. The flames are all but diminished here, it would seem. The skinny man steps forwards while the large one smoulders at the entryway. My liege, I beg of you for forgiveness. I will tolerate groveling in my presence. Worm, do not forget whom your pitiful existence depends on. I'm sorry, my liege. It's just I come bearing tidings. The ice green eyes wash over the hellish spawn, burrowing deep. We have
located 2 of the Wandering Stones. It would seem the mortals are occupied elsewhere. I must insist we strike while the whip is aflame. You shall not presume anything of me, Verm. But this is promising. You will capture them this time, and you shall not fail me again. Yes, my liege, but these stones may prove more difficult to get. Fail me again, Verm, and you will truly know a frozen hell. Oh, of course, my lord, of course. Anything, it shall be done.
The leathern wings unfurl, shaking off a layer of thin frost.
Oh, and Malik, if you see those adventurers again, annihilate them. Every last one.
Oh God!
So,
Sweet Lord.
Plus no. Plus.
Plus.
previously on the Journeyman Questers, our brave heroes, the Gypsies of Fortune, find themselves still locked deep within the heart of the capital city of Xanthar in the Empire of the Moon. Last session was quite an eventful one in which we saw the Knights of Decorum found themselves trapped within the Tower of Questions, the Spire of Questions, and through some cunning ingenuity and some very lucky natural 20 rolls, etc., you managed to break your way out of the prison. A spectacular use of magic and kind of intellect, as well as a great use of the Mold Earth cantrip yet again by Richter. You managed to burrow your way up and out into the kind of grounds where Zook, you'd flown out with Ember as a wind elemental, an air elemental. Finally, meeting up and avoiding the practicals on the grounds, you cast Fly on your friends and managed to flying over the wall and down towards the rivers below, leaving the tower behind. Meanwhile, the Brothers Grey had made their way back to their old haunting grounds, where they were greeted by their old mum of the dock rats, Randala Aguirre. But all was not as it seems. They were classically double-crossed and poisoned by their old boss, and thrown into some pit where they were scolded, perhaps punished, and fought some rats, as well as a giant, disgusting rat abomination, a ratrocity, which they actually surprisingly struggled with to an extent, as Dylan was out cold for part of the fight, and Dutch, protecting his brother once more, managed to quench these rat foes. And at the end of what seemed like a grueling and kind of disgusting pus-filled combat, clapping was heard atop a balcony where Randala, as well as Numbers and some of the others, were standing. And she proclaimed to you that indeed you had returned, and that punishment was enough for your discrepancies. And that is where we ended the session. So, we will cut to the Knights of Decorum.
Mm-hmm.
As all three of you, using the Skystone circlet, flight grips you all as wind rushes about. You hurtle your way downwards towards one of the canals below. You saw behind you, atop the walls, faces of practicals kind of leering over and pointing down, but there's not much they can do at this point, and they just see you kind of coasting away. What are you all doing?
Probably flying straight down to kind of street level.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a canal that we can see?
Josh,
They're like-
yeah.
How did we get out again? Did you cast fly on us?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're all...
So everyone, you can control yourself. Like obviously your movement. You got 60 feet of flying.
Oh, sweet. Okay. How long does it last for?
I'll check.
I believe
It's just the normal spell, so I
10
think
minutes.
probably, yeah, most likely.
Double check.
Flight. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Oh, it's just
Actually,
flying.
there's no music anymore. By the way.
There is for me.
Oh.
Oh,
for me.
me neither. Yes, it is 10 minutes, and I think I'm gonna look for some like a quiet area where we could maybe fly low, discreetly, away from.
So immediately down in front of you is the wide canal that kind of flows around the Andriont, the kind of raised section, because obviously the Spire of Questions is in the Andriont, or at least in a slightly lower down plateaued section. It's probably about 1,000 feet in a kind of diagonal across to get to the kind of the streets opposite. You're not sure what district that would be that you'd be entering, but the quickest way to sort of get out of sight would be just to head for the streets and the buildings on the other side. But until then, you're essentially kind of flying over canal boats and things.
Yes.
Rufus looks back behind him and up towards the walls at the what are they called? The guards? I can't remember what they're called.
Practicals.
At the practicals, like looking out for us, and nervously and hurriedly looks back towards Zook in front of him. Zook, use your eyes. We need to get out of here. Can you see a safe spot ahead?
I'm gonna look hard for a safe spot.
Roll me a perception check.
Yeah. Wow, that's 20. That's a 31.
A 31. Scouring ahead, there's what looks to be a bazaar, a large bazaar beyond some of the. There's like a row of houses immediately, but that's kind of slightly opened up, and there's just a huge market bazaar, like tents, coloured kind of like coverings. It's like a mishmash of it. It doesn't look like grotty. It looks nice. There's like, you can see fruit, you can see people bustling about. There's like loads of people all mingling in this large area ahead. It looks to be some kind of mercantile district.
That's perfect. We can lose them in there.
Quickly, follow me. Double dash.
Richter kind of catches up to in his feeling almost slightly freer and back to his normal self without his cape. He's used to kind of being able to fly about. You soar down, keeping an eye behind you, Zook. You don't notice anyone following you yet. Practicals can't fly, but other things can. But you don't see anything. You cruise down to street level, and people in various colourful outfits. Some point up at you, seeing you kind of cross above people, and you land kind of on the street within the bazaar on the cobbles. People move out of the way, kind of looking at you, perhaps with a little bit of confusion. But flying in the city maybe isn't that uncommon. Looking about around you, the crowd are just kind of mingling. There's various people shouting, selling different wares and goods. There's immediately to your right, like a large vendor selling what look to be silks. He's just kind of like calling out. There's all these different voices about. You can see what look to be some kind of monkeys, small monkey-like creatures hopping across from rooftop to rooftop with a bunch of like orangish looking fruit and kind of like munching on them, and you see a boy with a stick chasing them off.
Nice. Rufus, Richter, we need to find some kind of cover. Who can change what they look like? I know I can. Richter, I'm pretty sure can. Rufus, are you able to?
Not anymore.
Oh dear. We'll have to create some kind of hooded disguise. I'm surely we can find some kind of garment, some robe. We could cover yourself up.
So
Best not to be seen.
Can I? Is there a merchant? Is there a merchant nearby who's selling like robes or cloaks or something like some kind of dress that I can throw over myself?
Make me a quick investigation check.
As a note, I'm pretty sure Aidan took
15.
Mask of Many Faces as an invocation.
You're right. He does have Mask of Many Faces. That is an invocation. Yeah, he can. What are you saying? What do you want him to disguise himself as? Anything
noticeable? Maybe someone we know, but the general populace, or
he kind of waves his hand over his face, and he immediately his clothes almost like turn inside out and become that of like the local mercantile kind of colours about, but his face is that of Hammond.
Nice.
What did you get for your investigation, Rufus?
15.
Looking about and investigating the area, indeed, within a couple of strides, you find a merchant that seems to be selling. They're quite garish, but they are cloaks. Various different cloaks of multicolored patterns and
Nice.
various qualities.
I look to the others and Rufus says, "I'll be back 1 second." And I turn around and head to this merchant, stomp right up to him. "You there, good sir. Well met. I'm going to a... actually, I can't lie, can I?
You can't.
I need something to hide myself. These cloaks look mighty fancy and they might do the job just right. How much?"
My gnomish friend, it is good that you have arrived at my stall. I would say for a small man such as you to cover yourself, perhaps 10 gold pieces for this luxurious velvet red cloak.
Make it so. And I toss him 10 gold.
He happily takes it. He passes you it back. It's not velvet. It's velvet red. It looks to be some kind of not velvet fabric, but still nice. Large red.
Cool. I'm just going to throw it over myself and fasten it closed and hide myself within it.
You fling it across your person, and you are Little Red Riding Hood.
I kind of like look down, and I kind of pull my hand across my face, and then I look up again, and was his name Finbar, the Silver Shifter's halfling?
That is Finbar. Yes.
Finbar. Yes, I'm Finbar.
Great.
I'm him.
He has sort of a groomed mutton chops. He has that kind of cunning halfling face where he just pisses you off. It's just an unlikable face. Smug.
Right, fellas, let's get the fuck out of here then.
I take my cloak off as well, face seasons, and stuff it in my bag.
And like that, the Knights of Decorum disappear into the bazaar. So we'll head over to the Brothers Grey. I'll say a short time has passed, in which some of the gang have escorted you back through some of the tunnels, feeling kind of smelly and grotty, and I'll say you've taken a short rest. You've been essentially welcomed back in to an extent, although Randala herself hasn't seen you again. You've been allowed to kind of wash. You've been given some of the rooms are like kind of domed coves where there's they're not doored, but they're kind of you're used to them. They're kind of like domed roofed cubbies in which the various denizens of the dock rats would stay. You've been allowed to kind of wash. There's a section where fresh water seems to pour in from one of the sewage ways that's kind of clean water, and you stand under the waterfall, wash yourself, make yourself, or wring your clothes out as best you can. You're allowed to take, Numbers gives you some fresh linen. It's not the best quality, it's worn, but there's fresh undergarments if you need them. And if you want to roll any hit dice for a short rest, you may.
We'll probably wait.
And you feel pretty exhausted by this point. Like you arrived to Randala's and the dock rats at night. It was the same night that you burnt the part of the Cinnamon Inn, and had the encounter with the Inquisitors.
Was that like early? That was like the start of the evening.
Yeah, that was like 8 o'clock. So at this point, it's the early hours of the morning. Like the sun probably has risen. Your swim down to the dock rats was that in the early hours anyway. The light in the sky was beginning to take, but you imagine now it's probably maybe 6 in the morning, and you're very tired.
Who's with us now?
You're alone, both of you, but you've seen various people you don't know from the dock rats, probably new, but Numbers and Ganon have kind of shown you to an area of the runs that you're able to stay in if you wish. They've kind of patted you on the back and jeered and kind of made light fun and banter of your ordeal in the with the rats. It would seem that quite a lot of people were watching, but Numbers makes note of the efficiency in which you dealt with those, and he clearly is aware of your newfound experience.
And if my notes are to be correct, we have no idea where the others are. Like, we just left them.
That is correct.
So we don't know if they're in danger or if they're not in danger.
No, you guys guys are unaware currently.
What now?
Well, we should probably get at least some rest, and then go and try and find the others.
Sorry, Dutch. I'm feeling a little beat up. Perhaps you could step a little bit closer. I'm having some trouble hearing you.
Yeah, right. So we need to sleep because
you don't say.
And then we need to find the others because.
You think Randall's gonna let us sleep, or do you think she'll want to talk business straight away? I'm not sure I can go on for much longer.
I'm sure she'll let us rest a couple of hours. I killed a rat with its own teeth.
I gotta thank you for that. Whatever she slipped us, that knocked me right down.
I thought you were meant to be able to smell all that shit anyway.
I let my guard down. I got a bit carried away persuading Randala. I suppose it worked. We're lucky.
We are.
But we've always had a bit of luck on our side.
Definitely. That's why we both got horseshoes and all that lot tattooed on our asses.
I need to sleep. Come on, let's find somewhere.
So you are taking a long rest, which you are free to do so within the Dock Rats runs.
Yay!
So you are going to long rest, so we'll go back to the others. It's morning in the bazaar. It's busy, but it's getting busier as the early morning sets
We haven't
in.
slept either, have we?
No, you guys are pretty tired. I'd like you, as you make your way kind of through the mercantile district, District 7, I would like you to, or Ward 7, roll me a D. Let me just check real quick. Roll me a D10, please. Rufus.
A D10, eh?
Good.
It's a 9.
Okay. A 9. Sorry, I didn't have this prepared. Let me quickly find it. A 9.
You're accosted by vampires.
Okay, a 9.
No!
Oh, okay. So, as you're walking through the bazaar, in fact, we can turn this off and have this music on.
Give us jovial merchant.
As you're walking through the bazaar, a young boy, maybe 8 years old, long, black, kind of scruffy hair, wearing colourful robes, runs up to you. Runs straight up to you, Rufus, and just says, hold this, and sort of throws it over to you. You can choose to just drop it onto the ground or catch it.
Stupid pickpockets. But Rufus would take it.
You grab it.
What,
and it
what
looks,
is this?
It's a small pouch that's tied up, and the kid is like, I'll be back, hold it, and runs off into the crowd.
I'm going to open it.
Opening the bag, you can see it is full of gems. Different coloured gems.
Are they real?
Standing in the bazaar, Richter kind of stops and looks over your shoulder too. Zook, you just stop ahead. Roll me have you got jeweler's tools?
Nope.
You can roll me just an investigation check if you want, straight up just investigation.
Okay, it's a 15.
With a 15, they look real.
Who's got the bag of withholding?
Not
us.
Richter does, I believe. Or do the Greys?
I think Richter does.
Pretty sure Richter has it, yeah.
No, I think we have it.
Oh, really?
I think Dutch has it.
Okay. I look back at the others in confusion and sort of show them this bag full of gems and raise my eyebrows at them.
Do you have that before, or is that new?
Did you not see the child? He just threw it at me. Are
Oh.
these real?
Oh, I see. That. Well, why would he give you gems? I thought people liked shiny things and money in cities. Why would he give them away?
No one in their right mind gives away a bag of gems for no good reason. They'd hold on to them tightly if they were real.
Do you think we should hold on to them for him? Maybe he'll come back and find us. We can't stay here though.
I suppose. We don't have time for this. We're being chased as we speak.
Well, quickly put them in your pocket and let's carry on.
Okay, I just stow them in my pocket, and yeah, we'll carry on walking through the bazaar.
Okay. Move your mic a little closer. You're very quiet.
Oh yeah, I'd like to make an active effort to check behind us every 10 seconds.
Okay. I'll just use your passive perception because it's more of a passive as you're going thing. Mm-hmm. Where are you headed and what are you doing? It's you are tired.
I'm gonna gesture towards Zook and Richter. Let's keep moving. if we stay still, there's more chance that they might find us. We need to contact the others. So as we're walking through the bazaar, trying to blend in, does anyone have a way?
I think Richter might. But you look tired, Richter. You look like you need at least an hour stop to maybe recuperate some of your magical strength.
That's right, my friends. I could do with at least an hour. I am
Well,
spent.
does anyone know a safe place? Otherwise, I don't know if we can.
Let's have a look around. Maybe we can find a quiet alleyway or some kind of park or something. I feel more at home when there's plants around.
Maybe a rooftop?
Ooh, that could work, but quite visible from the skies. Maybe we should sit inconspicuously, maybe in a quiet part of the bazaar.
I'm no good at this, sneaking around a city. I don't know how this works.
Neither am I. I think we're just going to have to take a look, see if there are any secluded spots. What about a tavern? Could we risk that?
I suppose. The bazaar feels as good a place as any. It's busy in here. Lots of nooks and crannies.
Indeed. Well, maybe we should try and find a shady spot around here. Then, can we look for a sort of maybe a bit more like secluded, shadowy, dust sort of shaded area of the bazaar, off the beaten track?
Yeah, you can find an alley off to the side. You walk into, there's an alley sort of between what looks to be a bakery selling kind of like sweet buns and kind of like sweet pastries, and on the other side is a tavern sort of on the corner called the Sleepy Snail. In the alley between, there's like a kind of dark, out off the beaten track path. There is one character in the alley, but they look to be leaning up against the wall taking a piss.
Did you say there's a tavern called the Sleepy Snail?
There is a tavern called the Sleepy Snail.
Rufus sees that and says, "Perfect. That sounds quiet. Let's go in there."
Okay.
Very well, Lord Mayor. You push into the Sleepy Snail.
Just try and act casual, everyone.
It's the doors aren't like closed full doors. They're like that of like the saloon doors, and so you can see in anyway. But it's kind of dark inside with the light of the morning. And you push them open, and behind you they kind of like slowly close back again. The tap room is busy for the morning, and there look to be half a dozen people sitting about, probably more like a dozen people sitting about eating breakfast at various tables. The tables are kind of organized, not circular tables, but more like a kind of diner. So they're set up rectangular tables with people kind of across from each other chatting and drinking, and the smells are kind of like spiced and kind of like sheesh spice kebabby style kind of flavors that you can smell within here. And rather than a classic kind of bar set up at the end, instead it looks to be beaded curtains with people kind of pushed to the side, coming in and out and delivering plates of food. There's no real bar to go to. It's instead sit and get served. There are, however, a kind of balcony area, so there's stairs that go up, and you can see what you imagine is rooms above. As soon as you enter, a rather dashing and handsome gentleman kind of comes up to you. He wears fairly kind of like smart dark doublet and says, my friends, are you here for food or perhaps a drink?
I am quite hungry. I'm quite hungry, to be honest. Could have a
Food would be most pleasurable.
That is quite a mighty tree you have in your hands. I have not seen something like that before.
Oh yeah, this is it was my mum's. I quite like it.
He kind of squints his eyes towards it as you see some of the doves just kind of fly out from it, very small.
Strange kind of beehive in there. They always do that. New species, I think.
Right, well, I'm sure. So, breakfast for you all?
Please.
I think so.
Oh, you're looking very tired. Can we interest you in rooms, perhaps? We can deliver the food straight to your rooms if you would prefer to eat there.
Does he seem like he's just like a sales pitching us, or does he seem suspicious?
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. A natural 1.
Nice.
He seems like he's doing his job.
I look at Rufus.
Maybe later. Food would be great for now. Thank you.
Please. And he kind of ushers you to one of the tables at the side. We have the house special, which is the meat, spiced meat, which you can see here. Or I can do something more standard for you.
The special sounds great. Please, 3 of those.
Okay, 3 of those coming right up. And he.
Oh, just before you go.
Yes.
Sorry, I've got a bit of a chesty cough. I need some airflow. Is there some kind of back door or something that leads out onto the street? I like to be in good circulation.
I'm afraid that the back doors are for workers of here, of the inn. It is more of where we load the goods. It's not for the public aren't allowed there.
That's fine. I like the airflow if I can know where it is and situate myself accordingly.
I will sit you by the window if you'll follow me. And he moves you a couple tables and opens the shutters and you've got a view from where you are across into the bazaar. And there's kind of like air flowing in from there.
Okay.
He moves off away from you, and about 5 minutes go past till he very quickly brings back some plates, as well as a pitcher of what seems to be kind of like a breakfast wine, like a kind of sweet breakfast wine that he puts down. It's kind of like that feel that you haven't been told how much stuff is and you're being given maybe more than you ordered. And you get that kind of feeling with a high insight, Zook, that like this isn't going to be free. This kind of extra stuff, but you're.
They bring olives and it's £6.
There's like there's bread. There's bread. There's like a bread basket, and you're not sure whether it's free or not.
They're like, "Would you like some water?" And they bring you the fanciest bottled water you've ever seen.
Yeah, like they haven't even asked for the breakfast wine,
as well. Sucks.
And you sit and you start having breakfast.
Well, I have to say, switching my voice back to Razooks, it's funny how easy I'm finding pretending to be someone else. I guess it's kind of like becoming a beast. I just get into the groove of it. I feel like it's something to do with the Skystone. Mr. Jack has a way with words, and I kind of understand it. It's coming quite naturally to me.
Speaking of which, does he speak to you at times, or appear to you?
Oh, I mean, not really. I only spoke to him a few times when we actually entered the stones. I did hear him chuckle once, which was strange.
Yeah, I have a similar thing. I sort of get the feeling that he's always there. The king, that is, always watching.
Sometimes I feel like there's a kind of heartbeat there, or I don't know. Like you said, about the presence. I feel like they do know everything we do. It's somewhat disconcerting.
Perhaps this power isn't guaranteed. Maybe we have to maintain a level of ownership, prove ourselves constantly.
I suppose it's in different ways. The king seems like a very different character to the Jack. I feel like I need to perform mischievous tricks to appease the Jack, whereas you Well, I suppose you just need to be Ruther's Suncrest.
Yeah, it's quite similar, I suppose. But you, a trickster, doesn't feel natural.
Though I do seem genuine, there's quite a lot of mischief in the forest. Us forest gnomes, and you might get to know this, we are quite wily. We like to tell a tale, embellish it, and sling a lie here and there to, make things more exciting. But very much in the forest, we would often divert roaming orcs by cries for help, and we'd sit in the trees as they'd wander off in the wrong direction. It can be useful.
Speaking of which, actually, now that I've got a moment to ask you, Zook, is this a gnome thing? I keep feeling like I'll go past animals or creatures or critters and they'll be producing the kind of noises that I expect them to, but then all of a sudden it's as if it changes to a word that I understand, and it's becoming more and more frequent.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like knowing Sylvan, for example. It's another language. You as a gnome, it's intuitive to you. It's like your tongue and your ears understand the movements that are made and what they mean. I guess it's just another one of those. It's hard to say. I've known for 200 odd years I've been hearing the same thing, so I can't say it's strange to me, but I suppose it would be for you.
It's gotten to the point where I feel like I could have a conversation with them if I really tried.
Well,
but I haven't consciously been trying to learn. It's just happened.
But you've spoken to them before, no?
Only the very small. That's where it started, but nowadays it's bigger things. Dogs, cats, wolves, bears.
Well, see that as children. They understand each other through simple one-word responses. Play, come, run. It's just becoming more developed language, and larger creatures have more complicated communities. They require different kinds of words and different meanings, and a more complex understanding of each other. It could be quite exciting.
You don't think it's got anything to do with the tree, do you?
Oh, right. I imagine it's got everything to do with the tree, Rufus. After all, that is the heart of the forest and of the land itself, and beasts and man alike live within these lands. So, yes.
As you're sitting, eating, Richter's just kind of like munching away at some of the spiced meats and kind of smiling and listening in to your conversations. But he seems kind of absent, as he does most of the time. Zook, with your high passive perception, just to your left outside the window into the bazaar, you can see what look to be 3 individuals, large men, burly-looking merchants, a child at the front of them, heading towards the tavern and pointing towards it. The 3 gentlemen look very angry. Oh
no.
Here he is.
Oh no.
Oh, good time to join.
Hang on. Let me just leave that. Hey, here he is.
What up?
Oh, there he is.
Hold on. Wait,
He has
there's video
arrived.
coming. There's video coming. Hey.
Yay!
Let me get rid of
Back in the bond
He's
lair.
here.
Yeah.
Can anyone hear the fan that I've got on next to me?
No.
Is it like
No,
whirring
it's
or
all good.
anything?
Tell you what we
Nope,
can
that's
hear.
good.
Mike not wearing headphones and the music coming through occasionally.
I'm not picking up, but okay.
Just
Should
to
we
catch
quickly
you up to
catch
speed,
Aiden?
Yes.
Zook, would you like to catch Richter up to speed over your spiced meats?
Absolutely. Richter, you look absent and like you need reminding of everything that's just happened within the last half an hour. Do you remember
My senses.
when we flew down from atop the spire of questions, heading for this grand bazaar, of which we have been walking and trying to lose tracks from anyone that might be pursuing us. And then we thought, well, we can't look like we do. So you, of course, used your Mask of Many Faces invocation to turn into Hammond to avoid suspicion. I myself turned into, is it Thimbar? Thimbar, the halfling from the Silver Shifters. A face that we know that none others do. Rufus, unfortunately, being slightly magically disinclined, had to go and purchase a very overpriced cloak to hide himself. And now he looks like Red Riding Hood, as you can see in front of him.
Oh, lovely. Got a little basket and everything.
And also, you might remember that little boy that ran past us and told us to hold a bag, or rather Rufus to hold a bag.
Yes, I remember him.
It was apparently filled with many gems, and he told us urgently to hold onto them and then ran away. We didn't really know why, but we hung on to them. Rufus has them in his bag.
I think I met this Skyrim NPC yesterday.
I'll be back. And then naturally we thought, well, we're tired. We haven't slept in maybe 18 to 20 hours. So we need to go have at least a short sit down and some food. We found a quiet alleyway and found the Sleepy Snail Tavern, or at least what we thought was a tavern, but seemed to be some kind of Moroccan boudoir style room.
Tagine Dreams.
Tagine, indeed. We've got served some delicious meats. There's lots of shisha smoking going on, and we're sitting quietly by this window, as you can see. And I have to warn you both that at this very moment, that same child is walking towards us with 3 very angry-looking men. And I feel like we may be in trouble. We've got 2 options. We peg it, or we simply change our faces back. Oh no, that won't work because Rufus looks the same. I think we should leave.
So we have decided to steal these gems.
The child told us to hold on to them. Isn't that right, Rufus?
Presumably he just wants them back now. No?
I don't. There's more. It could be more complicated than that. Those men look very angry.
Looking out the window, you can see the kid is pointing towards the tavern, and at this point, a couple of the 3 gentlemen, a couple of them see you sitting by the window, and a couple of them meet your eyes and frown towards you.
And we look the way we did when we were handed the bag of gems.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay. Damn it. I'm not hearing anything.
I hear you, Rupert.
Oh, we've lost Rupert, have we?
We?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to? Should we go? Do we need to leave? I don't want an encounter. It could draw attention.
We could leave, and if we leave the bag here on the table, then there's no reason for them to keep looking for us when they find it.
Aye. In fact, throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Rufus, now! Before they start running at us.
Dutch would never forgive us for this, but let's just do it.
Not only just throwing the bag, I open the bag and scatter the gems out of the window onto the street.
Those are the most expensive caltrops I've ever seen.
You toss the gems out of the window of the sheesh bar onto the bizarre street. And
yeah, let's not draw attention to ourselves or anything.
They scatter across the cobbles through people's kind of feet, and you see the crowd suddenly kind of stop. The bazaars, people are mingling and moving. Almost like the whole bazaar, like hundreds and hundreds of people, sort of stop, and rather than looking towards you, they look up.
Oh God!
As something lands into the center of the bazaar, you see.
While everyone's looking up, I change face.
Tattered fragments of cloak whipping behind a steel-helmed face, but it disappears into the crowd, and the 3 gentlemen with the kid have turned, looking at that. And they just vanish into the crowd.
We leave.
Let's go. Out the back.
Get the fuck out of here!
Out the back.
So you head towards the beaded curtain, and as you head towards it, the server previously comes out and says, I'm terribly sorry. I could have come out and got you.
I put a hand on his chest, push him aside, and just say, nope.
He just goes, excuse me, you cannot go back there. And you push your way sort of into the back. There's a bunch of like chefs making things. There's like a rack of meat that they're cutting things off. They all stop and you can't be in here. What are you doing?
I roll persuasion. Health inspectors.
That's a deception, please.
Okay, deception. Rolled as a 14 plus 9, 23.
23. They just look shocked, and
We are here on behest of the city to check the state of your kitchens. Do not try and interfere with this inspection.
A couple of them immediately like run off to go and hide some things. You can see a way through where the back door is currently open, and kind of like the steam and smoke is billowing out that way.
We need to make sure that the alleyway is secure so that no trash is getting in here, for health and safety reasons. But this is an impromptu search, so don't tell anyone.
You run through, heading out the sort of back into one of the back alleys. And in the kind of madness and confusion, you manage to slip away. Where are you headed?
I'm afraid you failed. There's an Inquisitor here to claim you.
Away from where
Just
the Inquisitor
directly
was.
away.
Okay, you begin dashing through streets, through the merchant district.
Montage run.
Okay, yeah, you've left immediately. Okay, you begin running about. Interesting.
Let's find the brothers. And don't tell Dutch that we threw away a bag of gems. He won't forgive us for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wasn't enough time for a short rest. I'd like you all to roll Constitution saving throws for me, please.
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell.
Ooh.
Second natural one in a row.
12.
At least if there's anyone watching, they know we don't fudge our rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% transparency here.
Trust is real.
I got a 13.
13, 1,
12.
and 12.
Wait, did you get a nat one or an unnat one?
A nat one.
Oh, man.
Ruthless and Richter, although you haven't slept for a long time, it's the morning of the same night that you were escorted to the Spire of Questions. You spent the early hours of the morning escaping, and it's the same waking day for you. You haven't slept, so although fatigue tries to grip you with its icy hands, you shrug it off. However, Zook, you are feeling the effects of not sleeping, and you suffer a point of exhaustion.
Shit. Does that mean half move?
No. 1 point is disadvantage on ability checks
Ability check. Okay.
and attack rolls, I think.
Okay.
Oh no, Zook, you're too tired to walk. Oh wait, fine.
I'm still moving. Well, yeah, no, it's fine.
So
We must find the brothers.
you begin making your way just sort of away. I'll say for the next 20 minutes you're kind of like breathing hard, pretty exhausted. You've been like just bolting your way sort of through the various kind of alleys and mercantile areas of the 7th Ward, the mercantile
We're
ward.
carousing with none of the benefit.
Eventually you feel like you've got enough distance to have a quick break and a chat.
How did they know? How did they find us?
We should quickly go through what we have. It's always possible that something was placed on us to track us.
If Wendlin knows we're gone, he had a way of knowing, locating people.
No, he did. Perhaps we need to get further away. Is there a way we can get underground? But I do think Richter's right. Maybe we should check our belongings. Can we have a quick rifle through?
I'm going to quickly have a look through the bone bag.
Sure, you can all
Just
make
to
me
see if-
quick investigation checks to search your belongings.
A 19.
Ooh,
Oh,
80.
unnatural 20.
Wow. Closer inspection of your persons, your pockets, all of that. You find nothing out of the ordinary. Everything is where it is.
No, there's nothing. I can't find anything.
Well, Wendelin is a spy master. He will have ears and eyes all over the city. And even if we change our form, they will be looking for those acting suspiciously.
Can I pop a quick detect magic? I'm just going to throw some seeds in the air as they...
I hate him.
Sure. Yeah. Your kind of senses wash out from you, and both of your companions, as well as yourself, kind of glow brightly with the light of many different magical goods. Searching about, doesn't seem like anything in this alley is of interest.
Okay.
Until there's a ping, maybe 10 foot up, just off to the side. You get a small
I
ping
don't know
sense in the air.
Shit.
Anything
Can I
Zook?
cast Dispel Magic on that? area?
You certainly can. Let me double check something.
At 10th level.
They've scrambled a drone.
Yeah, what level do you cast it at, Rube?
5th.
Thrusting your hand forth, using your natural magic, you feel whatever was there shatter and disappear.
It's Mike's armor.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Provide a bit of context.
Rufus, have you got an
Aidan.
inspiration dice?
Yeah. So
No.
for the
can have
listeners
one.
at home,
Yes.
very early on, like session 2 or 3, I think, as these characters, Mike, we were it was the same session where Rufus found his blade of light, and I can't remember exactly what was happening, but something happened. I think.
I got
Like-
possessed.
Yeah, Mike got possessed, and so I had the bright idea to cast Dispel Magic on him, and it completely failed, and instead completely disenchanted his fire resistance armor, and he has never forgiven me.
It was
for
pretty
this.
harsh of me. He's never forgiven you, but really, it was me that was a bit harsh because you're not really supposed to be able to do that. But it made a great moment, and it's lived on. So I think
Magic
it was
moments.
worth it.
It's a theme of Dutch's bitterness.
Yeah, I still owe him for that.
So with this magical essence dispelled near you, what are you three doing? Knights of Decorum?
Oh, no.
I look
There
at
was-
Zook.
There was
Zook?
something there. Yeah, I think we're being watched, and I
Any
don't know
trace
how.
of it?
Like a high canopy.
Zook, you would
Something
have
like
got the type of the school of magic from it, and it was a kind of bluish tinge, which is divination.
Oh shit!
I feel like he could be scrying on us, but I haven't felt anything try and. I don't know. It's
Or clairvoyance, perhaps.
it could be something like that. I don't. Perhaps it's more difficult to do from a distance, but I think we need to get somewhere where it's not so obvious where we are. Maybe underground. I mean,
Hate to say it, but I feel like we need the help of a criminal underground right now to hide us. Richter, do you have any way of messaging the others?
Having not rested. Having not rested. Quick meta question for the DM. Having not rested, I haven't got my slots back, but with this level up, my warlock gained another slot. So does that?
I'm gonna say your level up things won't happen until your long rest.
Fair. Okay. All right. No.
Like spells and things like that will all come into
Unless-
effect on your long
Oh.
rest.
Did we use the? feel like we've used the Pearl of Restoration, haven't we? I think.
I don't know who has it or whether you have.
I have it. I've been
Richter
holding
has
it for a while.
I feel like
Well,
you
we've not
used
rested
it
a long time.
to gain one thing back. I'm almost
think we
positive
did.
you did that.
No, at this point,
Yeah.
I don't have any magical means until we've rested. But your idea for us to get underground makes sense. Even if he were to scry our location, he wouldn't have any visual landmarks to locate us if we were underground.
It wouldn't be obvious.
Then we'll have to do that.
Let's find a manhole
Let's-
cover or a gnome hole cover or something.
Look for the nearest entrance to a sewer.
We do that.
Looking up there are plenty of kind of like dirty looking
Holes.
like holes in the street, but they look to all be kind of, you know, properly wired in, like nailed in. It's
Are
not-
we
not
near
like
a-
a normal city?
Looking around, are we? I mean, we might not know being in an alley, but are we near like a waterway or anything like that, or a canal?
Where the direction you've headed, which was away from the Andriont and the canal that goes around that, you've headed deeper into the seventh ward, which is the Mercantile ward. You don't have a map. You don't know where you are. You don't know, not from where you are. There's your immediate views aren't that of long distance. You're kind of in a crossroad street area.
Mm.
We need to move out of here because now
we
they
have-
know where we are.
We have to keep moving. Yeah.
Keep
Okay.
moving.
Let's
Should we-
just keep walking.
Should we spend 10 minutes just?
Oh,
Oh,
lost Aiden. You've gone all clunky.
He's froze. Right. Yeah. You roll me
We
an
spent 10 minutes
investigation
walking
check.
away.
Can all roll
okay.
me an invest. Actually, whoever's helming it can roll me an investigation.
Zook, do you have a way of
The
keeping
way
us
from the
hidden?
last scrying point. Really? Oh.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
back. He's
it's
back.
all right. You're back. Do I have not really?
Okay. That was weird. I didn't slow down on my end.
I
but-
don't have a way of stopping any magics. I can only dispel it when it happens. So I can
Or just a
notice
way
it.
that we can remain stealthy?
Oh, that I can. Aye. But I feel like the magics will permeate that. They'll just find us. I mean, there's no way he could know. We'll try it. It might help in some way. But I don't think we should rely on it.
As you wish.
Cast Pass Without Trace as the black feathers swirl around our feet. And we carry on. Just moving away from the last scrying point.
Okay.
Can we try and... Can I listen out for like the sound of running water and see if there's a canal nearby?
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
Natural 20. Plus 50.
Yeah.
35.
It would seem that between between Ward 7 and 12 that border each other, not that you know which one's which, there's a large canal that cuts down, and you would, just from your natural knowledge, Zook, it's heading south, which from your vantage point atop the Adriont, you would know that on the southern side is the southern side is the sea.
Okay. Well,
Would
Perhaps.
Ruthus be able to think of? Would he know anything about the layout of the city? I feel like I might have been here before in the past.
You can roll me a history check.
Where is it? A 12.
The city, all that you kind of know is that the Andriont is in the center with the kind of like main upper wards, and then it just kind of branches out from there, hitting the ocean to the south. There is the Gilded Way that you remember, which was the straight, huge, like open. It's not even a road, it's so wide it just cuts right down, slowly sloping all the way to the docks where the ocean is. But
Yeah.
you're not.
Okay.
You don't think you're near there.
There's a canal that way. I know that much. We could head for that. Try and find some kind of hole or way into the sewer.
Makes the most sense.
Lead-
The sewers will
lead
have
the
an
way.
outlet.
I'd start leading them towards the canal.
Who has the highest intelligence among you?
Mine is 14.
13 here.
Zook does.
Zook, you 14. You would actually know. I'll do Richter because he's more familiar with cities.
Oh, okay.
The vast scape of Xanthar, you doubt that hopping into a sewer, like maybe miles and miles away from wherever you're trying to head, you don't even know where you're going. Heading into some sewers in this district might not even connect to other sewers. It might not even, how are you even going to know where you're going? I'm just going to, with your intelligence, you'd kind of be like, what? I mean, you could go down there and kind of hunker or something, but
Yeah,
I think we need somewhere to rest.
It wasn't so much we'll navigate the sewers and find our friends. It was let's try and hide from whatever's chasing us.
Okay, in that case, someone roll me an investigation check who is helming your way into a sewer way.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I don't know. I just know where the canal is, so maybe Richter.
Okay, I'll take it. Investigation. Yeah, 10.
With a 10, you kind of peer over the edge towards the canal, and this canal isn't as big. Further down, there are some small bridges that cut across. Below, you can see kind of there's kind of like some jetties and some docks, and to the side, you can see where the canal's kind of flowing in to what you assume is maybe like a smaller canal that's cutting under you that you could try and go down into.
Seems like a good enough lead. Don't know where else to head at this point.
Should we try it? Is there a way
Once
of
we're
getting...
on a canal, we will eventually see some kind of inlet or outlet.
There's stairs that kind of lead down to these jetties, and you begin making your way down. And once you're on the jetties, you can see there's like a barred in the kind of like the wall where you were standing above. There's like a barred, domed roofed way, and the water is kind of washing in. The bars are like large enough for a smaller person to kind of fit between.
Rufus, do you think you could bend these?
Do they look pretty solid?
They look kind of old.
I could give it a go.
What's around
force
us?
them open.
Are there boats passing us? Are there people crossing bridges? Or...
There's people everywhere most of the time. This ward is pretty busy, but people are just kind of like mincing most places, and most people seem to be just like, like in London, people are just on their way. They're just doing their thing. No one wants any trouble. People are just like getting on with their day. Down here, where these jetties are, there's a few people look to be kind of like loading goods up onto like a barge. There's a couple of people smoking up on the kind of waterway ledge, chatting.
Okay. All right. While you're doing this, I'm going to be stood slightly away, looking through my codex as if I'm some kind of official or some kind of like foreman for civic works, that kind of thing.
Make me a performance check.
Yes. Haha. 23.
23. Richter just goes into character, and both of you recognize this as he's in his zone, he's in his element. And
come on, you lot! We've got another 5 fucking sewers to take a look at after this one.
Rufus will sort of take note of what Richter's doing and shout back towards him. This one's pretty tight. I'm gonna have to use force with this one.
Give it
And
some
I'm gonna-
fucking welly then.
and as Thimbar, I'm going to put a hand on his shoulder and be like, really give it some welly, and then I'll cast enhance ability, giving you a bull strength.
Great. Make
Nice.
an athletics check for me, please, Rufus.
What does bull's strength do?
Gives you advantage on all strength checks.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Strength based check.
Okay. It's a 15.
A 15 does it. They're kind of like old bars and they seem to have been rusted, and you manage to kind of pull them apart enough. You're having to kind of wade down into the water, and the current is fairly strong, kind of pulling you into this like waterway. You can see light all the way through. It seems to cut through an area to. You're not sure. It wouldn't be another canal. You're not sure, but there's light at the end.
I give a knowing nod towards the others and make my way inside.
Okay. You will make your way in.
We follow.
Making your way in, there's no place to stand on the wall. You just have to kind of swim in, and you're all kind of like dragged along by the current. It would be, you would just have to be continually swimming to stay put, which you can
basically
do
on Mr. Bump's
if
bubble
you want to
works,
choose, or you can let the current take you.
I'll float above the water.
I will go underneath the water.
Yes, dipping down into the water. It's murky. It's like the canalways aren't like clean water, but they're not like sewage. It's hard
It's
to
a
see.
nice city.
It's hard to see, and although you don't need to breathe, which is handy.
I do
you
have
can't really see
I do
it.
have Devil's Sight. Does that affect
that's
anything?
more for magical darkness than anything.
Damn it!
So,
All right, fine.
dust particles in the air, unfortunately, are the bane of non-magical eyes and magical eyes. Flowing down this waterway, you come to the end where it seems to open up, and you can see that the water here pools in kind of like a larger area, with a kind of grate across. That's the light that's kind of pooling down, and indeed it seems to drop down. The water ahead of you floods down, kind of like in kind of steps that look to go down into the sewers. There are ledges at this point on the sides that you could pull yourself up onto.
Let's clamber.
It's easily enough done. You kind of pull yourself out of the water, backs against the walls, I imagine two of you on one side, one of you on the other. The water's kind of like making a soft kind of pattery noise, and there is light coming through, and occasionally you can see it's about 10 feet above, you can see people's feet, and the light kind of like is blocked as people cross this beam coming through.
Rufus slumps down against a wall, soaking and tired and exhausted. He looks at the others. Friends, this has to be the lowest point of my career as a nobleman. I don't know how we're going to get out of this.
We have to rest. Surely we have to find a way of finding the others, and surely that can only be done through resting, getting Richter back up to be able to cast a spell, and trying to find them.
Just need an hour or so, and then we can try. We can reach for them.
Never thought I'd be on the other side of the law like this. This is unprecedented, but
When I met you, weren't you on the run from the law? You were on the run from the city.
Well, yes, but I guess it was quite similar to this situation where it turns out the law is not quite as just as I hoped it would be. It's funny how history repeats itself.
I think we do need to rest, Rufus.
So, you having a short rest?
Short rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sit in the kind of like humid sewer way, still wet, uncomfortable, but the hour does pass, and you are free to have a short rest and use any hit dice and gain back your features of a short rest. Your slots return.
Get that.
And what is next for the Knights of Decorum?
Very well. Reinvigorated. I feel it may be time for us to try and reach out to Dutch and Dylan. However, we must not waste this, as we are all keenly aware. We do not actually know where we are, merely that we are beneath the city. Perhaps we could ask them where they are, and perhaps they could give us some kind of local point to head to. Hopefully they are somewhere safe.
Can you do that? Will you be able to get word to them?
Yes, I can send a message. Who do you think should receive it? Dylan or Dutch?
Dutch does like to know the local area quite well. Maybe him.
He's a carouser. Okay.
So
You can never get lost. So he says.
Tashi, is there a roll I can make for what was the last notable, like, skyline thing that I saw before
Like
we came
a
underground?
landmark.
Yeah.
It would have. You don't need to roll,
Maybe like
but
history
it probably
or-
would have been. So you're in the 7th ward, and looking across to the 12th ward. So over the canal from where you were standing, you were just in. Oh, the large bazaar that you left behind is obviously quite a big landmark, but also straight ahead, because you've made your way kind of further away from that. Across the canal, you could see what looked to be kind of like guilds on the other side, like working guilds. You could see smoke rising from chimneys, like quite distinct, like dark red clay chimneys. That's probably the best landmark, or at least like distinct bit.
All right. Are we ready? Okay. I think about my beautiful, painted-skinned half-orc companion. But then I paused. Wait. Zook, what were you going to say?
let me just check that nobody's watching.
Yes, that would be wise.
I used detect magic again.
The ping goes out, but nothing this time.
Okay. I think we're
We're
clear.
clear. Very well. Dutch. Escaped Tower of Secrets. Me, Zook, Rufus, in sewer. Near Bazaar and Clay Chimneys. Are you safe? Where should we head? I love you.
I saw you looking at the three left. You were looking
Three
at those
words. I got
left,
three words.
And you looked at it, and there was this moment in your head where you were like, "Should I say it?" And then you were like, "I'm going to say it."
Smiled.
We could die any day. We should say these things to our friends.
In your sleep, you jolt awake. Richter's voice pierces your head. How do you respond? Do you want me to count?
How many words have I got? 25?
25.
I love you too.
That's 4.
We're safe. So this bazaar,
Yeah.
would I know that to be like, I don't know, Grindle Snitch's fucking Exporium of weird shit?
You would know the bazaar. Let me have a look. There is a name for the bazaar. Yeah, you would know the bazaar to be called the Grand Willow Bazaar, which you have been to.
How?
In game.
Oh shit! So yeah, how far away is it?
It's fairly far. It's fairly far. It's you know that bazaar, or the main Grand Bazaar in the Merchant District, is in Ward 7. However, there are also many smaller bazaars in the Market District, which is District 11.
Okay. And
However,
chimney.
what's your intelligence, Dutch?
11.
Make me an investigation check real quick.
A 12.
The clay chimneys refer to the working guilds, which is one of the districts.
Districts, yeah.
You've got the map. You've got it in your head.
It's in Jan Quadrant
And I-
Vincent 16.
And I sent it Jan Michael Vincent to Quadrant 12. Oh, we got too many Jan Michael Vincents.
I need a goddamn Jan Michael.
This summer, it's time to Jan Michael your Vincent. No, okay, let's not get to that. It's the 12th ward, which borders the 7th ward, which borders the Andrion. So you can kind of pin them somewhere between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Up to you. Look at the map. You know where
I
that
can't
is.
look at the map. I lost my phone.
That's your fault.
Dutch wouldn't, Mike would.
Yeah.
Needs his
Told me
phone?
he loves me too, and he's thinking.
You have 19 words, Mike.
He's got 21
if I
words.
speak aloud, if I speak out loud, does it count as using brain words?
Yeah. You go. It's the words that you say.
Okay. I'm gonna kick Dylan in the face, and then go.
What
And then when he's looking at me, I'll go.
Dutch, what?
Richter sending
Yeah.
message.
Trying to sleep here.
You got, was that 18 words left?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What? Where are they? Are they safe? Can you talk right now? Oh, for fuck's sake. Why on earth would he
Great,
message
good,
you instead of me?
Yeah.
That was a terrible decision. Just tell them where we are. Tell them where to head. Tell them where the district is located. That's all you need to say.
Come to district. What district are we in?
9.
9 at
Good movie.
Doc Rat's base.
They don't know where they have no idea where that is, Dutch. What?
And I'll describe.
Tell them
how
a
to
place
get there
where, and I
through
will
the old
find them.
bakery and the like dilapidated ship and shit.
How do you do that in these words? You have 10 words
did.
left. You have 10
You got
words.
He
10
already
words
did.
left, man. Make him good.
No, that was
Come
Mike said.
to
Dylan is
Doc's.
just like rubbing
Come
his
to
like,
Go
Doc's.
bakery.
Oh, bakery. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember
Order.
the name of the bakery? I sent you
Why
all
are you
this
helping
stuff,
him?
Mike.
Yeah, but I lost my phone.
Did he
So-
say District 9? Did he say
He did,
that? Or
he
did he
did
just
say
mess
that.
around?
He did say that, yeah.
District
Come to
9
District
Bakery.
9.
That's what I've got so far.
Docks,
He's
then
got
bakery.
5 more words.
What do you have to order to get let in again?
Up to you.
Order sticky bun holes.
Sticky.
Bye!
Oh, that was intense.
All right, I received a message back. He loves us too. They're in District 9, a bakery near the docks, where we have to ask for sticky bun holes to get access to presumably some kind of underworld sanctum.
Right. And Rufus gets to his feet. Let's go. Where's District 9?
Africa. Which district? Do we know which district we're in right now, or are we just
Fucking
lost?
prawns.
You're lost. Prawns. Fucking prawns.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Guess we can ask for directions.
Yeah.
I suppose. What about if we leave, find someone on the dock, and ask them which canal heads to District 9? Maybe get them to draw us like a map.
We could just say
Sounds
we're looking
good.
for someone to take us to District 9, maybe.
Aye, that would work. Maybe someone
yeah.
with a boat.
That sounds
try-
great. Let's do it.
try that.
Okay.
Use
So
your
should we-
honeyed words.
Should we follow the tide until we find an outlet, or is it just going to lead us down, down, down?
It goes down.
just
You're
go-
going to have to swim your way back out of that current. Is the way out.
Okay. Okay.
So, I need athletics checks from you all. You are still exhausted.
Can't Zook just fly out?
Can I float
Zook
above it?
can float above it. Oh yeah, and it's only
Uh,
Zook that's exhausted. So yeah.
And I'm wearing full plate, right?
Yeah.
Can I just sink to the bottom? Can I just sink to the bottom and diving suit my way through the river?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, sure.
We'll do that.
Sure.
Do I still
Yeah.
have
You've
athletics?
bypassed it.
How long does that bull strength last for?
I imagine an hour.
Uh,
Which
An
is
hour,
B.
yeah. So it's gone.
Okay. So just a regular old athletics.
Regular.
Don't have any
Uh,
second level
that's
skills.
okay because it's a 29.
29.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So after this hour, you emerge back, and you can see that the barge that was loading up
Bobby.
has been loaded. Oh, douche. And
Ooh.
there's like a gentleman with a kind of a poof of kind of dark frizzy hair atop his head. He has kind of like golden amber kind of coloured suntanned skin. He looks like a kind of weathered a weathered bargeman. He doesn't look like a salty kind of ocean dweller. He looks like still like a seaman, but a canal kind of seaman.
It's a barge gypsy.
He looks
He's a gypsy like us.
he looks kind of more less rugged and more handsome than
You
your
there.
average shipman.
You there, noble bargeman.
He holds like a small dog in his arms, and he kind of places it
Oh.
down. The dog begins kind of barking at you, and he says, "Aye, there, calm down. I am no noble bargeman, friend. But what can I do for you?"
Fancy making a little extra coin today?
Oh, always. And he kind of looks you all over. You just swam out of that here canal?
Yes, we did.
May I ask why?
No, none of your business.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, it's that's a 29.
Oh, the power of nobility.
He nods towards you and says, well,
Let gold do the
a
talking.
man's business is his own. So,
That's right. You were brought up well, noble bargeman.
I am, again, not a noble bargeman, but a bargeman at that. What can I do you for?
Me, these two handsome adventurers and I are looking to get to District 9, and we don't fancy walking anymore. So, do you want to give us a lift?
Well, I'm not heading to the West Docks anytime soon, but I will be passing the East Docks. I could drop you there.
I don't think you quite understood. And Rufus flashes in some gold.
He kind of wets his lips a little. Maybe I could, for a friend such as you, a generous friend, go a little bit further and take you to the West Docks.
Very good. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Does he seem suspicious? Like he's actually taking us to the West Docks?
Roll me an insight check.
Yeah. It's a 13.
He seems like he wants the gold.
Okay. I'll give Rufus a knowing nod.
He steps to the side on the gangplank and kind of ushers his hand out for you to join him on the barge.
Get on.
Yeah, we go on.
We embark.
You stride up onto the barge, and he catches your hand on the way in, Rufus, and says, "Well, a generous friend would pay up front."
And how much would
half
you
now
consider to be?
and half later.
Roll a persuasion check. In fact, and how much are you giving him for the half?
I'll give him. I'll give him 20 gold.
20 gold. Yeah, roll me a persuasion.
A 18.
He looks at the 20 gold. Well, perhaps I am a noble bargeman. He takes the 20 gold happily, mark off 20 gold pieces.
Oh, it's so nice paying peasants nicely.
He takes a big barge pole, and there's a couple of other workers on there, and they push you off, and you can see with these long poles they slowly drag their way through along the barge.
Romantic.
Is there any indoor area to the barge?
There is. There's a little set of stairs that lead down to a very kind of small inside section where there's a table and like, you know, various cupboards and bits. There's like a little stove to the side where the chimney comes out. It looks like a little living quarters bit. There is another section which isn't under, but it's like the whole front is just covered in barrels and various goods that are kind of like strapped down.
Mm-hmm.
Staying out of sight would probably be wise.
Yeah, staying down there.
You all head down into this cramped. You sit around the inside around this table. It's like one of those tables that's built in, and you have to kind of scoot your way around the side cushions. Well, make yourself at home. Why don't you? He kind of gets one of the men to pour you a drink. It's pretty watery ale, but you're welcome to it on your journey.
Thank you. By the way, you don't know any good bakeries in District 9, do you?
Bakeries? Why, I think I know.
I've really got
a
craving for some sticky bun holes.
That's a very good roll. He says, "Hey, well, there's the greasy sweet. It's down on the docks, and there's the rum and bun."
Is that also down on the docks?
That one sounds good.
It's in the West Docks, but not quite on the docks.
Interesting. I think we'll check them both out.
Time passes as the Greys, I guess, go back to bed and sleep, finishing their long rest, while you guys slowly make your way along the barge.
Could I do something?
Yeah, absolutely.
I will send Ook to the bakery to like just inconspicuously find like a rafter to like look out for these guys.
Okay, yeah, great idea.
Report back when they arrive.
You send Ook off, and
would it be unusual to see an owl just like chilling in?
There's lots of different birds and animals flying about. I mean, an owl's not too common, but they use owls in the Wizards University to send messages, and so it's not uncommon. A few hours pass of traveling by barge, but eventually after one of the stops in the east dock where they unload a lot of goods, he eventually comes down, rapping on it, and says, "Well, I'll be having the other half now. You're here."
We're at the east dock.
Indeed, at the west docks now.
Oh, we have arrived.
Yeah. You stopped at the east docks for a time to unload goods, and you just kind of had to wait. But then eventually he moved on.
Okay.
You poke your
We'll
head
go
out,
up
and
to
you
the
can
top.
see you are. You have a kind of vista of the city before you, and on the other side is just the ocean.
Is this actually where we're supposed to be? I mean, we don't know.
You're not sure. It looks like docks for quite a few miles along this coast.
Oh, nice. Okay. Ruther steps up and walks up onto the deck, and then steps off the boat onto the dock edge, and then turns to the guy, to the bargeman. Here, you've earned it. Honest pay for honest work.
He snatches the coin purse out of
And
the air.
Richter comes to the side and he holds out another 20 gold, but then takes his hand back again and says, "And if you were asked, how would you describe the passengers you had today? Physically. Maybe
I would
three
simply
tieflings?
say I did not have any passengers. We merely ship cargo. We don't ship people."
Very good. And I give him another 20 gold for his silence.
He takes the 20 gold.
Yeah.
You can see like all of his crewmates are like eyeing him like we should get a cut of this, but he's kind of like batting them away. Yeah. You step off the barge and you find
Motherfucker makes
yourselves
60 gold.
in a dockyard area. Who will helm the investigation check to find one of the bakeries?
I'm going to smell for sugar.
Make
I'm
me
gonna
a
smell
perception
sticky
check.
bun holes.
Sure.
So in classic
Bakery.
cartoon stylings, Zook is going to float along the air, sniffing.
Well, he floats. You literally float. So you're
I
like,
tell you what. I'll sneak behind a little crate in the docks, and then I will walk out as like a similar breed dog to the one that was on the barge, and
nice.
like a little hound of some kind.
Bichon Frise.
Okay. Maybe
Cool.
a perception check.
Wow, not great. 3 and a 1, because dogs have advantage on smelling perception checks.
They love to smell.
18, however.
You can, as a hound, a faithful mutt, you can smell the smell of fresh buns in the oven.
Sticky
And
buns.
you follow the dog through the streets until you eventually make your way to the greasy bun.
Greasy sweet, I
The
think.
greasy
So
sweet.
And then there was the rum and bun.
The greasy sweet. The run and bun. Yeah.
Run and bun.
The greasy sweet is a kind of like disheveled looking dockyard bakery. You can see they're making kind of like hard salt cakes and kind of like hearty loaves of crusty bread. It's sort of open. It's not like an indoor shop. It's more of a stall, a permanent stall, if anything. And as you approach, the dockman says, "Hey, get that mutt out of here! I'll have him no stealing my buns."
This
mutt.
this
Go on, you go.
no you.
Thank you. This mutt, as you would call it, is an employee of the city. We are here on a health inspection.
Roll a deception check.
He is here to help root out rodents. Probably shouldn't have said that before trying to get into the gangster place, should I?
I start
Okay.
licking my groin.
Yeah, that was that deception.
Yeah.
What's 18 plus 9? 27.
Yeah, buddy.
His eyes sort of go wide. We don't want any of your like here. Hey, boys! And he whistles, and you see getting up from a few barrels, a few dock workers get up. Hey, we don't want you here. We'll have no inspection today, I don't think.
You're refusing a civic inspection?
I'll start growling.
But you don't know what we've come to inspect.
Roll me an intimidation check, please.
Going to inspect Chelsea.
Your sticky buttonholes.
Wait, who?
This dog will snip your sticky holes.
Aiden needs to roll me a deception check, an intimidation check.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of ominously write a report in front of him.
Civic intimidation.
Intimidation. Oh no, it's not great. It is a 14.
One of them steps up and shoves you in the chest and says, "We don't want no inspections here. We don't deal with civic duties here in the West Docks."
And do you
Afraid.
deal in sticky bun holes?
The fuck does that mean? And he goes for a
I
punch.
think we're in the wrong place.
He rolled a natural 3, which isn't going to hit you. His fist swings past as you move out the way. What are you doing? How are you reacting, all of you?
I want to chew on his ankle.
Make an attack.
I'm
Rufus?
going to use a bonus action to become a giant, and then I'm going to pull like the entire rack of like salt cakes like across the room as we try and run out.
It's outside. It's like a stall rather than a building.
I'm
but
gonna flip
you
the
just
table.
pull the
I'm
stall.
gonna flip
yeah.
the table.
Make me an athletics check. Make me an attack roll.
I got a
Ooh.
12 to hit.
A 12, yeah, that hits. Roll for damage.
20.
Aha!
25.
2 damage. 2 piercing
You
damage.
bite his ankle. He's like, "You fucking mutt!" As the
Ooh.
table, you see Rufus just become a giant and flip the table, and all the dock workers, including the man, the kind of overweight bun seller, it just goes, "Oh fuck me!" as you flip the whole table, and he kind of goes scattering into all the barrels.
Can I roar? Respect your civic authority.
You can roll me an intimidation check.
You don't disrespect the local council such as that.
So 15.
You scream loudly as the dock workers kind of they hurry back, and you can see them running off like fuck this. You see maybe 100 feet off down the docks. There's a rather nice looking ship that's kind of docked up, which has the colours and banner of what look to be the kind of like city's banner. It has on the kind of sigil on there is the crescent moon and white and blue, and you can see there's a few guards kind of just by that. They look over towards you with the noise, seeing people running, and a couple of them begin kind of jogging over towards you all.
Can I use a bonus action to become normal sized again?
Yep.
And I suggest we should probably just book it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll stop pegging it.
You begin running once more. Make me
Okay, not that
someone
one.
make me an investigation check to find the run and bun.
Sniffing again.
Sniffy boy.
Hang on. If it's investigation. I got a natural 18 plus 2.
Wait.
Well, hey, it takes maybe 10, 15 minutes as you kind of dart through the dock streets. But eventually there's a quaint wooden building called the Run and Bun. And there are delicious smells of kind of sweet rolls coming from within. You enter the shop, and there's like what looks to be a very kind-looking, plump baker man with a kind of apron on that's all covered in flour. And as you all enter, he's like, "Oh, hold on a sec," and he pulls out a sort of like little dish, fills it up with some water, and slides it over to you, Zook, as the dog. And he kind of scratches your scruff, and he's like, "Oh, you're a good boy, ain't you?"
I lick his face.
We stride into the room, and Rufus walks straight up to him. "Well met, noble baker. I'm afraid there's no time. I need to inspect your sticky bun holes."
He kind of looks up towards you. "My sticky bun holes."
That's right.
At this point, you hear a fluttering as you see Ook land on the windowsill outside the window of the Run and Bun. He says, "Oh, okay. I see how it is. Follow me." And he kind of turns round, leading you through a back door and out into the alley beyond. Ook, recognizing you, I will say, hops onto your shoulder, Richter. And you make your way out the back towards the alleys. The plump baker turns to you all and says, "Hey, so some of the dock rats, are you? I haven't heard that phrase muttered in quite a time. I don't recognize you all, though."
Friends of, you could say.
Roll a persuasion check.
A 30.
Well, there's only two I know that have used that code word. It's been many a year since they last frequented my bakery. But if you're friends of them, you're friends of me. Oh, yeah. And he gives you some directions to where you'll find an entrance to the sewers, as well as a small piece of parchment with some lines on it, which kind of show, I guess, like a right turn, a left turn, a left turn, a right turn. He catches your arm before you go and says, "Hey, just don't tell him I told you where to find him." He gives you a wink.
Ruth doesn't really understand, but he nods anyway.
And he enters back into his shop again.
I like him. He was good to the dog.
You begin making your way with Ook towards where the sewerway is marked, and for expedience sake, with the map, you are able to make your way through the dock sewers, and eventually to what looks to be a doorway at the end of a kind of arched roofed tunnel. It has kind of bars set in a kind of slatted window that will slide open and shut, and Ook immediately takes flight from your shoulder and lands kind of claws on the bars and begins pecking and hooting at the door. The slat opens up and you see an unfamiliar face. A man wearing spectacles kind of looks towards you all, immediately shuts it again, and then with a click begins to open the door. Ook flies inside, and at this point, the Greys, you are aware as Ook returns to you.
What time of day is it? Is it quite late still?
I'll say
it's like in the morning, right?
It was like early hours of the morning when you started to sleep, and so at this point it's like the afternoon, and I'll say that your long rest hasn't quite ended yet. You're maybe like still about 3 hours off finishing.
It's taken these guys like 8 hours to get to us.
No, but maybe about no, because it's all been happening. It hasn't been happening directly lined up.
No, so
because you guys you traveled all the way down, which took longer, and you don't know how long you were out when you were unconscious. So at this point it's easier for me with time as well.
Okay, it's lined up. I trust you.
it's lining up, but you've still got a bit of your. It's basically you're like halfway through your long rest.
I guess I'll just like quickly take out a bit of parchment and just like scroll down and just sort of explain to numbers the situation.
Well,
just mess-wise, you can do stuff, can't you? For like up to an hour.
You don't have to. Yeah, you can get up and.
Oh, we can get up. Oh, okay. So
like a lot, like in the long rest, you can do menial tasks and things like that.
All right, let's go. I'll wake Dutch then. Dutch. Sorry to wake you, but I think the others have found us. Your interesting directions seem to prevailed, surprisingly.
There's always a will and there's a way. Back to bed.
Yep, that's the phrase. Are you gonna stay here? I can go and meet them on my own.
No, I'll come. It's polite.
Fine.
You make your way out into the kind of like main circular chamber with the pools of water and the bridges, and you see Numbers standing by the door. Ook, is on your shoulder. He turns to you and says, "Friends of yours, I presume."
You presume correctly, Numbers.
We see that now.
No, he opened the door and Ook flew through and he closed the door.
Oh, okay.
He clicks open the door, swings it, and you can see before you the Grey brothers in kind of undergarments, like they're kind of half asleep.
I'll run towards Dutch, and I'll leap up to him. And just before I get to him, I'll turn back into Zook and just give him a big hug.
Yay!
You hear a click as you hug poor fragile Zook.
Oh, it's good to smell that filth again.
I can't
Let's go to
express how
bed.
good it is to see you guys. If
It's
you've
been
been through
quite-
half what we've been through, then well,
I think we may have been.
I killed a giant rat.
And
damn, it
at
looks
that
like
point,
you haven't rested.
at that point, we're going to have a short break.
Hey.
As the gang is back together again. There was a whole
Hey.
session of basically not being together, which is nuts.
It's so
Yeah,
strange
yeah.
to keep away from like the main casters.
Yeah, and
Alright.
also the
It's scary
people
being
who might
lost
have been
in a
able to
city.
navigate the city as well.
Yeah, it's scary being lost in a city you don't know without anyone that knows the criminal underworld.
yeah. You guys like, let's go straight into the bazaar and just chill. Like it's all fine. I was like, face palm. But it was so in character. I absolutely loved it. It
Nice
was so
decorum
in
for you,
character.
Oh, let's go sit in a bazaar. And it's like,
Let's go
what?
sit in a pub and wait for this all to blow over.
Right, I'll leave us.
All right, break time.
I'll leave us on stream, but
Yeah.
I'll mute us.
No,
Just
pause the
gonna
stream.
Max and Wheeze.
Right, back in 5 or 10 or so. Yeah.
Hello, and welcome back. We are just on break at the moment, in the middle of our session. But if anyone hasn't already, put your dinners in the chat. Dinners in the chat. And if you're watching this on YouTube later, just skip this bit. Should have already skipped it. Get to the good stuff that's about to come.
Oh. Right, let's go.
It just does at the moment.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll play all the other characters.
Brother, I don't know if this is a good idea.
That was pretty good.
Now, you see... Oh, how do you do Rupert? How do you do Zook?
It's Zook. It does a slight Scottish accent, sort of like a. Oh, well, I don't know about that Dutch. It's a sort of.
Yeah. And then who else we got?
You there, gentleman bargeman.
Yeah. No, that's not Rufus. That was more
That was
Varian.
no, Varian's more like, beast, you there, gentleman
What
bargeman.
tongue wet? Yeah.
Quit your yapping, Pixie. What is this magic? Pixie magics. It's the.
Yeah. Oh, mate. That's what I've realised. I was looking at it earlier and I was like, the Platinum Fisters are down a Fister.
They are. They are down. They're down bad.
So all I want to do at the moment is play a pot grot to a hob shaman or play a stab grot to a kill boss. That's where I'm at.
Nice.
Oh. To be a fucking pot grot would be hilarious. Like,
Just stare in
he
the
played.
pool, Dave.
I played a sorcerer in.
Mike, I can hear the music still through your speakers.
Oh, I'll turn it down then, man.
It might
There
not
we
be
go.
you. It might not be you. I don't know.
I'll just turn mine down a bit anyway. Next.
Is it me you're looking for?
Oh no, I can't hear anymore. I don't think it's.
How come my mic's so quiet then?
I don't know. It's just
That's weird.
not close enough to your face.
It's so close to my face. It's basically in my mouth.
It's good now. We're just doing impressions of everyone's characters. Can you do impressions of other people's characters?
Oh man. What's Brother Draug? I really don't think that would be wise, Dutch. Now, just listen.
No.
You're not that. You're not.
I did exactly the same impression, and I said basically exactly the same thing. I said, "Brother, I don't know why I've gone like."
I think you
It's
said
a quintessential interaction.
you said,
between
brother.
them.
I don't think that's a very good idea. That's what you said. It's just impressions of Draug are him saying, telling you off, or saying how the thing that you're about to do isn't such a good idea to do.
Yeah.
Rufus is like, a good bitter. I haven't had one of those since I was a squire.
I take the man's hand and I give him a knowing nod.
Oh.
Quit
Our
your
business is our own.
yapping, beast, for there is no pixie nonsense in this here tavern.
Oh man, it was Varian's catch up when he was like, or even not even a catch up. He was like, I'm not dealing with these shittened peasants.
shittened peasants.
There's so many words that you kind of double take. You're like, hang on, wait,
That's
no,
some
that's
great-
not an actual word, but
great
you
Varian
almost got away with it.
some really good Varian words, actually.
I'd like to make a book of words or phrases invented throughout D&D campaigns.
Yeah, that would be good.
Or
did
just
I
like
read-
phrases and chants screamed by players in each group. I want to hear what other people scream and what their tempo is for the game. Like, I want to know what other groups do.
Yeah.
Did I read you my favourite quotes of the campaign I've written in the back of my book?
No.
Oh,
when we were
these
in the
are so
ASD.
good.
So
I'm still here. I'm just gonna put this over my camera while you read these out.
okay. So you know how, like, I think for Rick to cast his like find familiar thing, he needs.
Actually, do you want to maybe we come back on stream for this momentous?
We're on.
Unless
We're
you-
on.
Oh, we're on. Oh,
Right,
okay.
okay.
Sorry. Yeah, no worries. I just came in. Okay.
Yeah, so he needs incense, and he was like, I tried to transform my snake into a spider, but found my pouch empty of nag champa. and then Rufus in the A scene, when we were doing the skill challenge, goes, I'm going to use a history check ability skill check to history my knowledge of swamps.
Just read that again for Josh. Oh, it's just so good.
I don't
every
know,
time.
Josh, do you remember saying this? I'm
Ye-
going to use a history check ability skill check to history my knowledge of swamps.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you heard. Josh? Oh no.
He's mute.
Josh, did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear anything.
We're just going through best campaign quotes, and yours is I'm going to use a history check ability skill check to history my knowledge of swamps.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Can
so
I,
good.
Rupert? Can you do a weekly like Instagram post where you do the quote?
Oh man, yeah. I need to. What I need to do
That'd
is
be
go
so
back.
good.
If you can send me the files of all the like ASE and stuff, or because I've been listening back to the.
They're all on the Podbean.
Yeah, but you
They
have to download
not-
it to then edit it.
Oh, I see.
They are up to a certain point, and then I think they stop. There's a
Oh,
few.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
like
Yeah, all the
there's a
editing.
big gap until we started streaming again.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely. I need to listen back to.
Just do a post and just quote it. Just be like,
Yeah.
top quotes of our D&D campaign.
Yeah, if you hear
Yeah.
any, just write
For
it
sure.
down.
Yeah.
Oh my god, someone, yeah, like if we had the time, we could go back through it and just take snippets out of
Well,
context.
we need to do.
It'd be
You need
so
to do
funny.
timestamp stats.
Yeah.
That'd be
I can
amazing.
go back and edit it. If you just like timestamp it, and I'll just go back and edit them out and we'll just for lols like.
Oh,
There's some
do
great,
like an
great
out
ones
of
this.
out of
Great.
context montage or something.
That'd be so
You just
funny.
have random quotes.
Right, let's carry on. Let's dive back into it. So, you all find yourselves together back once more, but in a kind of different environment than you were maybe expecting. As Ruth has put it, this is he feels as though he has shrunk low. He has bowed low to his noble heights. And you find yourselves in the ratways of the Dock Rat Sanctum, but all back together.
Dylan, Dutch, is this your old haunts?
I speak for myself and Dutch, I hope, when I say I don't think we ever intended to take you here or bring you here. But yes,
Well.
Dutch and Dylan did indeed once call this place home.
Well, we've all seen each other's homes now.
Gannon steps up. Numbers is kind of just standing there watching, and Gannon steps up and says, Hey, Greys, who are these rabble? Can't just be letting people in here."
I understand.
Consider them extended family. Then I'm gonna turn, put my arms around my friends, and walk them down the hallway.
Gannon sort of just turns and says, "Well, right,
It's your head that she'll have.
Yeah.
Ganon, believe me, Randala will appreciate to have them on our side when it comes to do what we need to do.
He just sort of shrugs, like your funeral sort of thing. Like, whatever, and walks off. Numbers kind of catches up beside you as you're walking down one of the halls, and he says, he kind of manages a lot of the kind of ins and outs, and he finds you all suitable. Well, they're not the nicest, they're kind of like, there's no beds, it's just kind of straw on the ground with a sack over it, but he finds you all various cubbies to lay down in if you want to have a long rest.
Yes, crime doesn't pay.
He also says that
please.
some stew is being boiled up. If anyone wants to partake in some midday stew, but he says you look pretty tired, and obviously the Greys were mid rest.
A rest would be good, and then some stew would be very fine.
You guys look like shit. I'm not gonna lie. You could do with catching up on some sleep, and then
I'm just going to quickly grab my pizza, but in the meantime, Numbers leads you, before you go to bed, he leads you to have some stew, he puts some bowls out in front of you, and you are free to chat and catch each other up on the things that have happened.
Before
we catch you up.
Yeah.
Is there anyone from the organization in the room with us, or is it just
Numbers? Numbers is with you.
I see. Okay. We've been eyeing Numbers. We've been sequestered somewhere. Nowhere bad. Sort of like extremely hesitant to reveal that we just escaped from the most well-defended prison in town and are currently got every single person looking for us.
Should we just say that for expediency, should we say that we tell each other exactly what's happened, give each other the lowdown, and then we'll take our conversation from there?
Yeah, we'll do that. Wow. My God.
Maybe we wait until Numbers has gone to do the stew or something.
If that's possible.
This is bad. I wouldn't have. I don't think either me or Dutch would have let you down here if we'd have known the situation.
Well, to be honest, we were a little confused as to the situation of why we were even there. We still have no idea why the building was ablaze or where Celia's gone.
Or why we were even imprisoned.
Do you not understand how this city is built? How it propagates itself? Sure, it might be the wealthiest place on the continent, and I'm sure the Emperor is all well and good, but corruption is at the very core of this city.
Why do you think how corrupt the justice system is?
Why do you think me and Dutch fled? I'm surprised that you even went quietly with this man, this supposed brother of...
Well, I mean, we were surrounded by those metal groaning freaks. It didn't seem like it would be a good idea to draw blades.
I mean, if you're asking us if we'd do it again, no, I don't think we would.
Well, you live and learn, but I'm going to look around sort of cautiously. I suggest you keep this information from Randala. We're walking on thin ice with her as it is.
Best to stay quiet, Rufus, given your loose tongue.
Predicament.
I take a back seat on these.
Listen, it's not a lie if you just don't open your fucking mouth.
Friends, now that we are together again, we can finally decide what is it that we're doing. Do we have reason to stay here? Do we need to find the missing girl, or do we?
We
Need
must
to
find Celeste. I mean, for
Yeah,
Ruth's
I cannot
sake,
leave
and-
this place unless we find Celeste safe.
But yeah, I'd also quite like to be back in Miri right now.
I
Can't
agree,
live without
as
a
would I.
touch. But as soon as
We need to find her as quickly as we can and leave this place. There's naught for us here.
the question
other
is
than
do
trouble.
we do the bidding of this individual that Dutch has wronged? Or do
Eldama.
we take matters into our own hands and find Celeste ourselves?
What are
Well-
the demands again?
If we just fucking got it, because Eldama's got the girl, so we can go there, kill Eldama, because she's a fuck, and then free the girl anyway. Done. Easy. Let's go.
Is-
They get
is it-
if they get wind that we're heading over before retrieving this item that they want, then surely that will put Celeste's life in danger.
Numbers,
Yeah, but the Empire already thinks she's dead, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Numbers is there, you know. Yeah.
I would have said some of that whilst he's not listening, Like
I'll say he's
about where they've been.
okay. I guess at this point maybe he's come back with some bowls of food or something.
Yeah.
And he overhears the Eldama section.
Yeah.
You can't be serious. Trying to kill Eldama, Dutch.
A joke. Calm down. You're always so dramatic. You know, that's always been your fucking problem.
I'm
You
always
can't-
so dramatic.
Yeah, it's with. What's for dinner?
Do you know what Eldama did to us after you left?
No.
We are crushed. We are but a scrap of what we once were before.
Then perhaps it's time that the dock rats take
Retaliate.
revenge and retaliate and restore the great position that they once had in this city.
What, by killing Eldama? You're
Yeah.
mad. You're all fucking mad. As if Randala's going to agree to that.
Why not? All she's got around her is people like you going, oh no, that's dangerous. We
Sure,
got
me.
by taking risks, taking action, violence, speed, momentum, forward, aggression.
It might be fine for you to come back and, fuck shit up, as it were, everywhere. But you don't even live here anymore. Where have you even been for the last how many years it is? And then you come back here and you think, oh, well, we'll fix all your problems. You are the ones that left. You abandoned us. You abandoned me and everyone else here, your family.
Please, Numbers. We did not mean to offend you, and perhaps Dutch spoke without thinking. Regardless, when our companions have rested, there is a discussion to be had with Randala. Regardless of what we decide to do, action must be taken. And
My friends, I feel we are in a similar situation that we've been in before, where we do not know enough information. We need to ask more questions. I, for one, would love to know why we were imprisoned by Wendelin.
I agree with this, but we must deal
it
with
makes
one
me
issue
question-
at a time here.
Makes me question if it's really this other gang leader that even sent that letter.
Perhaps that is the case. I mean, this city is corrupt to its very core. It would not surprise me. But again, I think we need to break this apart piece by piece and deal with it one thing at a time. And I do think Celeste's life is our number one priority here. And how we deal with that, well,
So
that is up for
you're-
discussion.
you're saying we ask Eldama for a drink then?
No. We either do as she bid, steal this item.
Yeah, but you just said we don't know if it's Eldama did it or if the state did it, which means we've got to speak to Eldama to find out if she actually wants us to do it or if it's the government, and then fuck it, it's not our problem and we leave.
We'd still need to find Celeste, though.
Let's speak to Randala once Richter, Zook, and Rufus have slept.
If this Eldama is her nemesis, then I'm sure she'll have a close watch on her. She'll know more information than we do.
We have already told her what we know. But I think we need to clear our heads before we jump into anything. It's been a long night, a long day.
There's bunks down this way, if you want.
Oh, thank Root and Vine. Lead me to those.
Some of them are a bit dusty, so give them a kick, but yeah, hammocks will do.
Oh, so long as it holds my sweet limp body while I sleep, I don't mind.
Does anyone have a way of sending message?
I do, but to whom?
To Wayland.
What would be the contents of this message?
I'd love to know his opinion on his brother.
Is this before we take the long rest?
Yeah.
Or are we? Yeah. Oh, okay then. Well, why not? It's a freebie. Yeah. Wait. Perhaps I've misheard or not followed. But is Wendelin Wayland's brother?
Yeah. I forgot that you don't know that. Yes.
For murder. Escaped prison. Celeste missing. Letter from Wendelin. Magically sealed. Open? How would you proceed? I'm not going to say it.
I saw it.
Are you well?
The response is immediate.
Find Celeste. Destroy letter immediately. Do not trust him. Leave Xanthar as soon as possible. Good luck, gypsies. Good. Cut off.
Before relaying any of that, I just hold the letter over the nearest candle I can.
It's magical. Okay. It's magical. Oh, you...
Okay.
No.
Well, someone stop me.
No, fucking grab his hand before he does that.
Sure.
Oh,
I rolled an Arcana check on just for myself earlier. On 14, yeah. I've got plus 7.
No worries.
So I was like, I kind of feel like I would have a bit of an understanding of how this sort of thing would work. So I'd like to grab his wrist before he puts it into the flame.
Sure. Yeah, easily done.
What did he? Dylan, he said to destroy it.
He said to destroy it immediately. He put a lot of emphasis on that.
You must do this by magical means. Who knows what would happen if you set it to flame?
Understood. He told
we
us
should
to
dispel
find
this
Celeste,
first.
Destroy the letter, and leave Xanthar as soon as we possibly could. He then also wished us good luck, which was rather uncharacteristic of him.
Indeed. Okay, let me have a go.
What happened if I punched the letter?
Do you say he did not to trust Wendelin? Did he say that? Did you relay that?
He did say not to trust Wendelin, which I, don't. As he
then that seals it. He must be wrapped up in this somehow.
I'm going to pull.
That we know.
I'm going to pull some sparks in my hand and wrap them around in a kind of globe of green sparking flame. And it's going to start drawing the magic out of the seal. And I'm going to try and cast Dispel Magic at 4th level.
Okay. I need you to roll me a d20 and add your spellcasting
God. Oh God. Green is go. Okay. Oh God. It's a 13.
You reach, trying to extract the magic from it. You pull and pull and pull, but it resists. You feel the magic within the letter is stronger than that. And you're kind of forced out from it. You look down at the letter. It seems unaffected.
Let me have a go.
There's a sort of shock wave that emanates from it. The air in the room is sort of forced back, the hair blown from you, and you can see, those of you magically inclined, you almost see this kind of like ripple just kind of wash out from it, and it goes stationary again.
I think we need to go.
Do we not have another chance of doing this, Richter?
I can try at a higher level, but I mean, Dylan, you saw that ripple.
What was that?
Someone can roll me an Arcana check.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. 24.
Jack Bauer roll.
With a 24, knowing the arcane, seeing these kind of magical ripples through the air, they look. You would assume them to be some kind of alarm.
Richter, dispel it now.
I'm going to roll. Yeah, I'm going to dispel magic at 5th level.
Your hand reaches towards it, and you watch as the seal on it evaporates off, and the parchment sort of falls open with nothing on it. It's just a blank piece of parchment. You have dispelled the magic that sat within it.
But it's empty now.
It's completely blank.
It
to
might
your
have always
eyes.
been empty.
Would I be able to decipher if that was maybe given away our location, or if it just maybe alerted him that it's been opened?
The ripples,
Left him on red.
The ripples that kind of like shockwaved out seem to evaporate in the room. They didn't like continue through the walls.
Yeah.
So you don't think, with a 24, you don't think it's likely to be like a ripple that extends, but more of like an alarm has been triggered within it.
Now.
That someone tried to mess with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Or someone
Would actually be a 25 if I've got that +1 in intelligence.
That's true. Yeah, you would at this point. Yes, it doesn't appear to be. You don't know of magics that could alarm and extend and reveal a location.
Yeah.
You imagine that would be extremely powerful magic that probably wouldn't just be able to be placed on a letter, although anything's possible.
I think we would have been safe, Richter, but just to be certain, it was a good thing to do.
Well, there's no message to be read. I suppose the most important thing on our hands now is to find Celeste.
I think the most important thing is for you to get some sleep. We can't do anything with you in this state.
No, you're probably right. I will find a bunk. Did you say there were bunks here, Dutch?
Bunks and hammocks. That's what I said. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, there are hammocks, bunks and hammocks.
Okay, finding my bunk, I'm going to presti it clean, first of all, to get the bed bugs out, because I'm not taking those back to Miri. And well, I suppose Dutch already did. And I'll have a kip.
Zook will find a bunk and just politely ask the bed bugs not to bite him.
Are you all long resting? You finishing your long rest /
Yeah.
doing a long rest? Okay, in that case, you all bed down, finishing your long rests. Dutch and Dylan, you can all do your levels up. You get your spells feeling refreshed, experienced, etc. Dylan and Dutch, you finish your rest before the others.
Could
by
I,
a few
while we were
hours.
doing stuff, could I use the blind sense just to look out for any scrying?
Your blind sense would pick up anything that would exist.
Yeah.
You occasionally do laps, but you don't sense
Yeah.
any scrying. You two finish your long rest first and are up before the others, as you'd already started your long rest prior. So you have a few hours to do with what you will before the others wake. What would you like to do, Grey Brothers?
I think we should speak to Randala.
I agree, but perhaps there are things that Numbers or one of our old companions might be able to help us with. Do you think we could get a letter to... I keep forgetting her name, the one that you've wronged.
Eldama.
To Eldama.
Yeah, that might be an idea. Yeah, let's do that.
Do you have any idea where their hideout is located?
Do I?
Yes, you have been there.
Oh yeah, cool.
Eldama, unlike you, your gang, the Dock Rats, Eldama is an extremely wealthy, mercantile sort of based group. You know, that has its more mafia style, fingers in many pies.
Oh, they pay
and
protection to the city.
Their hideout isn't really a hideout. You know, there are multiple
Prime
buildings
Inc., yeah.
owned by Eldama. You happen to visit one of the mansions within. It would be the Eldama. The working guild. So where the red chimneys are, the entire working guild section is mainly governed, or at least the area that Eldama exists in. And a lot of the guild buildings and mansions within there are owned, and you know you were in one of the various mansions that are owned by Eldama.
How long would it take for an owl to fly there?
Oh, probably from where you are, probably like an hour.
Oh, not far, not long.
Well, as the eagle flies, it's quite a lot quicker than
Okay.
hopping canals and walking the streets.
Bridges.
Yeah, maybe not even an hour, because it's all in the center city.
Maybe we should speak to Randala. Let her know what we now do regarding the situation with Waylon. What's his name? Wendelin.
Wendelin.
That's his name.
Wendelin.
With Waylon's brother. See what she thinks. Perhaps we could get message to Eldama. Perhaps Randala will think this is a bad idea, but a little bit of reconnaissance while the others sleep couldn't hurt.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go have a look around and see what's going on. Poke our nose above water just a little bit.
Numbers, do you think Randala would have time to speak with us again?
Numbers kind of pokes his head in. I'm sure she will. She's sort of expecting to talk to you at some point, so may as well make yourself be known.
Well, it was a well-deserved rest, but I think we're ready. If she is.
You may think that she's chided you well enough, young Greys, but I believe that those questionable dealings with the rats below were perhaps just the first of her chidings.
Numbers, do not think that we believe that we have gotten off that lightly. I'm fully aware we are walking on very thin ice.
Well, I can make introductions again, if you wish.
Please, if you could. We have some more information that she should be privy to.
Numbers escorts you to the long hall where at the end Randala's door is, and he rat-tat-tats on the door. And you hear another, "Yes, come in." The door slowly opens and Numbers pokes his head in and says, "Grey, milady, the Grey brothers are here to see you." She kind of nods. The door swings open and you are privy into Randala's study once more. She sits again, her brow furrowed, a large glass of red wine in her hand, in goblet, piles of books and papers before her, quill in her other hand. She glances up, smiles at both of you.
Well, it was quite the display that you gave in the tunnels, the ratways below.
Thank you very much.
That was all my brother here. I feel a little embarrassed. I should have noticed your poison earlier, and it certainly knocked me down.
Quite a costly poison at that as well, but it was definitely worth it.
You can see there's a slight smugness to her. So, friends of yours are staying at the mine, I presume?
If only if that would be okay, of course.
Well, it's a bit late now, isn't it?
I didn't want to wake you up.
It's the middle of the day.
Not
Dutch.
me. What?
It's the middle of the day.
He's a little bit confused. We've had an interesting night. It seems that our friends have had a good go at acquainting themselves with the criminal lifestyle. Some of them don't have too much experience in that regard, but I suppose when in Rome...
Rome? When in Xanthar.
When in Xanthar, I should say.
Listen, boys. You've been away for a while and you have come back, yes, and I am still very disappointed in both of you. She points towards you both. But it appears that you are back nonetheless. And who am I? A mother to turn my boys away. But it will be at a cost.
I think both me and Dutch understand that our trials are what we must do to make it up to you is far from over.
Yeah, we're really sorry.
That sounded sincere, Dutch.
No, she knows I mean it. Of course we're sorry. What are you saying?
Well, regardless, there is some information you should be privy to with regards to the Eldama situation. And I think just we'll relay sort of what we know. Well, skirt around the facts that our friends have been were imprisoned.
Sure, yeah. Leave out the bits with the inquisitors, etc.
Yeah, but we will inform that perhaps we think that maybe he's involved because we know his brother. We met with him, and we think, yeah.
Yes, Gwendolyn is a nasty little piece of work. Terrible.
Well, I suppose that we'll have to get you out or help you somehow rescuing this damsel in distress.
She just did give birth to like an angel.
If Eldama has set you terms, you must abide by them. And I know what you are thinking, both of you. You cannot go in fists a-blazing into Eldama's lair.
I know Dutch was keen, but
No, the thought never crossed my mind.
Well, what happened last time, Dutch?
That was his fault.
Regardless, a fool's errand. But I'm curious to know whether or not you think that she is involved at all, or perhaps this is all Gwendolyn's doing.
Well, you wronged her, Dutch, and in conjunction you and me and the Dockrats. Now, I have already paid my dues with her. Yes, we are rivals to an extent, for we are criminals the same. But this is something that you both never quite understood about the gangs here in Xanthar. She is my sister, just the same. We are all family. Us, the crows, the wharf crabs even, parrots, conjuana, red foxes, maybe not the reptile gangs, fuck them, but we are all one and the same. We have to deal with each other. Yes, there are wars that break out, but they are not good for business. Never are they good for business. And I have had my war with Eldama, and I shall not see it happen again. And I am commanding you both. You will not go after Eldama's head. It will do nothing but bring these walls crumbling down around us and everyone else. If she has indeed taken this girl from you, it is leverage. She wants something of you. She will stick to her word, no doubt. I have paid my dues with her on your behalf, but she clearly is not satisfied. And you must pay this price. You understand how it is.
When we left Xanthar, as I said before, we were green boys. I think partly why we returned, although I must be honest, I do not think we truly intended to return here, but of course we were drawn back. I think we both felt guilt.
Well, guilty you should feel. Both of you. Extremely disappointed.
I think we were both angry when we first left. We felt that we were corralled into a lifestyle we did not choose. But I've changed my mind in that regard. I think Dutch has too. We can see the bigger picture now. And
let me tell you a tale. When you both came to me, not but youngsters, it was not me that chose to take you in. It was not you that came to me. It was how it was. The lifestyle, yes, it was part of your upbringing, but no one forced you, and you didn't force yourselves. It was merely survival. And that is how it is here. We survive. And blasting your way into Eldama's lair is not surviving.
I think we can handle retrieving this item that she wishes with minimal help. Truly, we have somehow fallen on the wrong side of this Gwendolyn character, and he is baying for our blood. So being able to hide out here is we are extremely thankful for. We do not wish to overstep our mark with regards to this heist, this job that we must do. You've done enough for us, letting us shelter here. I think once our companions have rested, we should be able to deal with this, and then we can take it from there. Whatever else we must do to make it up to you, we will be willing to do that.
There is one thing about your tale that strikes me as odd. The Cardinal of the Lunagate, murdered in cold blood. Now there's a thing. Now that does not happen every day. And if Eldamar is responsible for that, then she is messing with things that we do not usually get ourselves involved in.
Why would she do such a thing, do you think? Or perhaps she did not do it at all.
Perhaps she did not. Perhaps it was a mistake. Perhaps
someone got walked in on. Panicked.
Perhaps it was a botched job. That would be very funny. Or perhaps it is as you fear, and this head inquisitor is somehow involved. You must be careful, either way. She will not go back on a bargain. For if she does, she knows she will lose the respect of the other gangs, and that is what binds us together. If you deliver this cubic gate that she seeks, she will uphold her end of the bargain. Eldamar is good for some things.
Oh. Hope she at least also, sorts out the dead cardinal as well.
You think she would be forthcoming with the information regarding the cardinal's death if we were to retrieve this cubic gate?
Perhaps. But if not, it is a simple way for getting you both to leave the city, is it not? For you simply cannot stay here with that kind of bounty upon your heads.
I'm happy to do this job for her. That does not trouble me. It is just that everything is unclear. I do not understand the motives at play here. I think as much as coming here to shelter, to hide from the law here in Xanthar, we thought perhaps you might be able to enlighten us to the situation that's going on around us, but perhaps you're in the dark as much as we are.
We are all in the dark, Grace. The city is forever shifting and changing. There is always unknowns in any deal. And I do not have all the answers, but I can point you to those who might be able to help you. The Guild of the Midnight Mercers, you say, is a wealthy faction. They have many fingers in many pies across the city. And you said that you need to retrieve this cubic gate from where?
I thought I had it on my notes, but I can't find it. I've got I seem to have misplaced my note regarding that cubic gate. I thought I had it on my notes, but the cubic gate from
As a -2 wisdom, do not remind me.
Wisdom isn't the same as intelligence. Intelligence is like knowledge and memory.
sharp you are.
Wisdom's more like discerning social things and
Yeah.
and yes, it was just the all that she said was the walled estate of the Midnight
walled
Verses. It's like that she just said something about the mansion. I can get the exact bit up. Located at the estate of the Guild of Midnight Mercers.
Okay. Cool.
I know a few things that would help. For one, it is dangerous you even being here. If the Inquisitors are after you, they will try peering towards your very core. And they may already have found their way here. Save for the lead that lines our walls. They will not find you while you are inside here. But stepping outside, they will. You will have to talk to the crows. I know that they are in possession of such items that will mask you. Also, the man himself, the head of the Guild of Midnight Mercers, is a man called Lord Balthazar. Not only the head of the guild, but the owner. I do not know much about him, but I just know he is an unsavory character. With any good heist, information is key. I would suggest asking about who guards, where can they be found, more information, eavesdropping. Are there maps of the mansion that you can find? Can you find someone who perhaps was there when it was built? Can you find members of such guild? Perhaps some that are willing to talk. But without giving anything away. We don't want any suspicion leading back to the guild. How in which will you approach the mansion? Is there a way of entering that is in plain sight? Or will it be the grappling hooks over the walls? Information is your friend, and it is key. And as members of the Dockrats, you have the disposal of the criminal codes. But information has a price.
We're willing to pay, and please, if we're going to be breaking into this mansion of the Midnight Mercers, if there's anything we can retrieve for you as well, then we would be more than happy to do so, as part to start repaying our debt to you.
If you are breaking into a vault, I'm sure that there will be more than just this cubic gate within. If you do have time to grab anything else of value, it will go a long way to helping repay the funds that I lost to Eldama when you left.
How much gold did you lose?
8,600 gold pieces, to be precise. Thereabout.
Okay, let's write that down.
Tashi, could you send me over my money and stuff, please?
Your money and stuff I'll have to find.
We have
Okay,
a lot of gold in the withholding bag. Withholding.
How do I know where your one is, Mike?
What do you mean?
How
Oh, I asked in Facebook Messenger a while ago, and you were like, "Yeah, I have it all written down."
I have your inventory written down.
Yeah, you said you had like how much money I had written down and stuff.
Oh, what? Because I have the piece of paper that has the old thing on.
I don't know, you just said you had it. Because, yeah, Emily threw away a bit of paper. Because I left
no,
a
it
bit.
was the money that you got from the. It was recent stuff. It was money
Yeah,
you got from the vault.
from the Elderwick vault. Elderwick's vault.
Yeah.
I wrote some stuff down, and I shared the document, but I don't think
So-
anyone else put anything on it.
You got. Oh, did you write down like the gold, the diamonds, the dust?
Diamond 1,000 gold,
Yeah.
incense 200,
Oh, yeah,
oils
yeah.
and
You've got it
unguents
all written down.
1,000, amber rod 20, reliquary 500,
All
3
that
pearls 100. And then did we have add extra gold on top of that?
There was.
We got given gold by that noble dude as well.
Who was the gold by the note? Who's that?
Let's sort this out later. Let's sort this out later.
Yeah.
I feel like
Let's
Dutch
sort
has
this out later,
invested
it's
it
fine.
all in crypto.
Sort it out. Sort your inventory out later, man.
Off stream.
Okay.
Shall we wait for the guys to wake up?
Yeah.
There are some things we could do though. You mentioned the crows.
Yeah, we need to have a meeting with them.
Yeah.
I'll
With
say
regards
after,
to implements.
after having breakfast and finishing your chat with Eldama, the others wake, and you are all in the Docrat's sanctum together, plotting what to do next time.
What time is it?
It would be now. It'd be 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Waking up, checking the weather.
Oh, just to remind you all, because it's been a while, I know, out of game, but for in game it hasn't been that long. The letter that you read, Dutch,
Yeah.
said you have 5 days.
Oh shit. We
But
have
it's only-
5 days. 4
So we need to pull off the heist.
now.
Soon.
So we have 4 days of reconnaissance.
Well, there's 5 days, and technically last night was when you got the letter.
We
So
have
today,
3 days of reconnaissance.
No, today is the first day, but you're like
Okay.
halfway through it. So you've got this day and 4 more beyond.
Oh, okay.
Well, we all had a lot of sleeping to catch up on.
I mean, we've got a lot of time for recce. If we could get out of here, though, to meet other people, get some extra eyes, get some extra intel.
I'm
Well-
gathering you filled us in on the information that
Yeah.
Randall. So
Oh.
the crows have something that can mask us. That seems
Sklang.
seems like priority number 1, surely. Because
We're
then
either
we should
have
go about our
pay
business.
for it or owe a favour for it.
Well,
We
who
have
are the
a
crows?
fair amount of gold at our disposal, so hopefully we should be able to afford something. At least for those of you that were locked away in the tower at Spire of Questions.
Indeed. Do you think that they could come here, seeing as we can't leave?
Well, there's no reason why I couldn't leave. I mean, Wendelin he's met Dutch, but he hasn't met myself. I'd be happy to locate them, and I don't know what you could do in the meantime while I do that. If you could provide me with what gold you have, I could see what I could barter with them.
Oh, I left my gold in the other room, but I'm sure the other guys won't mind.
Dutch just invested all the party's gold in crypto and is coming up with all these stories for why he
Yeah.
can't find it now.
Yeah.
He's gonna buy the dip, guys.
It's actually Draco coin.
So,
I don't know what to do with gold, so have mine. I'll give you 590 gold.
Yeah, I'll
sure.
give you. I'll
I've
give you
shared a
500
document
gold.
with everyone. I think it's all shared with everyone. And if you just put your gold on it for next time.
You needed to accept me, and then I think I got bored of looking at it.
He posted
Where
a,
is
he
that?
posted a link that,
I
that
posted a link
everyone
to
can
it.
access at some point.
In the main D&D chat.
Cool.
Yes. If you can find, I'll post it. I'll post it in a bit. I'll post it afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then, well, there was something that I thought perhaps Richter could look into. If we could find a member of the Guild of the Midnight Mercers, perhaps we could get some insider information. Those of you with more of a silver tongue, I know, Rufus, your predicament is you cannot lie right now. Might be problematic. But Richter, at least, you could be able to, do you think you'd be able to pry out some information from such an individual if we were to find out where this guild is located?
I have no doubt. I would be more than happy to pour some honey into the right ears.
And Zook, you're able to turn yourself into all manner of different creatures. Would you be able, perhaps you could scout out the grounds and get the lay of the land and find if there's any secret entrances.
Blocks can't stop a beetle. I'd be happy to.
I'm open to suggestions. We have a few days to.
Oh.
I mean, of course, I'll make sure I can find whatever items these are that are going to help mask you from Wendellin's scrying.
Well, once we can go out and we have that defense, then we can get around things like that. I myself can scry on others, so if there's anyone that we need to peek on, then let me know.
Anyone that you're familiar with?
It not necessarily, but it won't always work. It has a better chance of working if I know them, or better yet, if I have something they own, or even better yet, if I have a body part.
Well.
Oh my. Ooh.
And by that I mean a lock of hair.
It might be worth
less
you
grisly.
accompanying Richter at some point, and if Richter is able to ingratiate himself with a higher up member of the Guild of Mercers, the Mercers Guild or whatever it's called, the Midnight Mercers, perhaps we could find an individual that if you were to scry on them, you could find out some valuable information. I don't know, you could turn yourself into an insect and pluck a hair from the head of this individual.
Or we could play a game with my bone knife in a tavern where we have to try and stab between our hands. And lo and behold, he slips up, cuts himself, and I say, "Oh no, perhaps we'll stop the game and I'll give you back your money." And I take my knife back and I use his blood to scry on him later.
That's a remarkably nefarious plan for someone who's only been in cities for about a year. Wow.
I like it, says Ganon
from across the room. No, that's a plan. And the
I feel like the
camera
idea-
slowly pulls back as you're all discussing various plans of how to do this heist, and we will pick that up next week.
Oh.
In the meantime, you can
Back together.
chat out of game about your ideas and what you're going to do, and that's kind of like you sitting around this table discussing it at that time.
Yeah.
So it's not too meta either, which is great.
Yeah.
Well,
So
let me just share this link with you, and you can give me all your gold.
thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you, everybody.
We're back
Thanks,
in the
John.
heart of Xanthar City. Hopefully next Tuesday. Is everyone free on the Tuesday?
I'm in Bristol.
You're in Bristol.
Could be
Shit.
okay, but I it's fine. I can send you my ideas, etc.
Okay.
Because if it's mainly preparation, I can just tell you what I want to do.
Okay.
Yes.
So join us next Tuesday for the next exciting installment of The Gentleman Quest.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday. We will we'll see you next time. Hopefully we'll do a roundtable talk, and hopefully things will, after the summer, things will start getting a little bit back to normal in terms of...
Do a roundtable talk on Thursday instead, actually.
You definitely could do that.
We'll get kick those back off.
Yeah, I won't be free, but yeah.
Someone else.
Irrespective, join us next time. Thanks for watching.
Godspeed.
Bye.
Take care, bye.
Bye.